O'clock as we head through a very positive afternoon. Nice bounce coming off of what happened yesterday. Very volatile trade to kick things off on Monday. Here's how things are shaping up so far this afternoon. 1% for the S&P, 1.1 even for the S&P 500. The Dow 0.6 to the upside. It's been about NASDAQ and tech in general right across the board leading the way right out of the gate this morning. All kinds of strength came into play. 1.75 right now. For the NASDAQ. Brazil crude oil, the only ones struggling here. 1.6 downside for crude. That has things here in Toronto a little bit weak. 0.6 still positive, but a little bit weak compared to everything else. 1.9 for Bitcoin, 2.7 there for Ethereum. Very green board to show you here as we get going on Tuesday afternoon. WBA earnings this morning, not good. Forecast, a bit of a problem for them. So 9.12 right now, downside for Walgreens. A little bit of weakness still in healthcare. If you're with us this morning, it was a lot worse throughout the morning session, but we're heading in the right direction as far as healthcare stocks are concerned. Still industrials lead as far as strength is concerned today, including the airlines coming off of Delta this morning, up 6% off of a nice move for them this morning. AAL, UAL, even FedEx there being dragged along with some of the other airlines. Information technology stocks, the entire group now officially positive. So as I said, that's been helping things out throughout the entire day. Banks also, the entire group positive here outside. Oh, there's one downside. Everest, a little real estate group in negative territory. Material stocks, real estate stocks, communication, energy and utilities down here also positive. 1.13 overall for the S&P 500. Hope your afternoon is shaping up pretty well. We had a number of things on watch. If you're with us in the pre-market this morning, we were discussing tech once again to the upside overall, but it has been mostly the chips that have led throughout the day. Apple very, very strong, as the guys were showing there as we headed towards 2 o'clock there. Apple back to essentially day highs where we haven't been for quite some time. I was reading 190.89 is $3 trillion for Apple as well. So notable coming up here. We had that note for Snow and NVIDIA coming out after the close yesterday, talking about a new agreement. So we're looking at Snow, guys, pre-market. NVIDIA, I mean the chips in general. Pretty impressive here so far today.
Yes, sir.
190.89.
But that's not the level that we're concerned with. Everybody knows. The level that we care about is 190. Well, not 01.
O's, I guess.
Yes, O's. 190.00. That's the only level that matters for Apple, because that's when platinum. Well, that's when
we still have 6 months to go for that.
6 months. Oh my goodness, he's going platinum for sure. I don't know why it costs $300 for him to dye his hair. That's quite frankly something I don't understand. And
it's going to be more.
Well, then we should all be in the. We're in the wrong business.
Your wife? I mean.
I have no idea what she. I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing.
I honestly, I plead ignorance. I really don't know how much something like that costs.
Oh, I know how much it costs.
I think my haircut costs way too much for what I do. It costs
I got one yesterday. You can't even tell. It was $50.
Mine's 35, but it's just, I'll go and get a fade.
40, and then I gave 10. What do you give on 40? I gave 10.
See, this is the problem. Mine's 35, so I give him 40 most of the time.
Because it's probably not enough.
Because it must probably isn't enough. But then every now and then,
I'd be 25%. So 25% of 35, you got to give like $8. Yeah, but you're not going to give $8.
But every now and then, I do give him a bigger tip.
So
it evens itself out. Like sometimes I get
around
5.
Holidays or
Oh, dude, like a few times a year, I'll just give him a 50.
Right.
So it's it is what it is.
That's an odd price. He should actually up it.
He should.
Yeah, because it's too easy to give 220s.
Yeah, I give him 220s, and then every now and then
I wish my guy was 35. I probably would give 220s more than not as well.
I've been going to him for 20 years. He's good people. He's really into crypto. Every single time I'm in the chair, all he wants to talk about is crypto. And I'm like, I trade stocks, you know that, but you always want to ask me about crypto when I'm not a crypto expert. We're supposed to be talking about Snowflake, but yada yada yada. Apple 190, so Pratt can go platinum. Snowflake. I feel like there was a missed opportunity in Snow when this eventually loads up, because look at the bottom at 170. It wasn't quite clean to the previous close, and that's what I would have been more interested in. Like, are you actually going to get down there? And then it didn't quite make it. Actually, 170.50 is the low. So I don't think I would have been involved. But if you're looking for things like that, red to green, hold green, higher low, it gave all of it. Now we have to think about the afternoon for Snowflake, which when you pop out the chart, it's a little bit messy here until you get to like 182, 183. That's where the resistance is. Now that it's through these highs at 178, I think above 178, you're room to 182, 183. Ears to the ground. It's a 4-day event that's happening. As far as NVIDIA goes, I haven't traded it. Intel's been the one, which ironically, I was long all day in Intel to now be shorted because always looking for shorts at the highs, I suppose. NVIDIA 420. I got one line drawn on NVIDIA, and if it gets to 420, I think that's a short. So strong move for it today. Should have just been all over the 1 trillion recovery at 406. That price, it gets there. There's gravity towards it. It ran away. I suppose it should have been a long. It's very easy to say now. Instead, the only chip name I've been involved with, as I said, was Intel. I was long more or less several prices all day until we got to 34, yesterday's high. So it's an inside day on Intel. Until we break 34 even. I'm short 97s now after all the longs. It's about 10 cents in the money. The way this market's going is probably going to take out the top.
All right, well, I mean, today we were long. Everything on here is long. Like, we were long NVIDIA, we're long Meta. Meta was an absolute... Are we going to talk about Meta? We can talk about Meta. Well, here, let's talk about Meta quickly. I'll talk about NVIDIA in a minute. But look at Meta, man. I mean, Meta today was an absolute beast. We had one out, which happened early at 940, but we got right back in, literally the next candle, back in, and then just rode it all the way to the top side. And getting out at 287 was monstrous. I mean, some of these bottoms, 281, reloaded there. I just like this one. Reloaded, and then reloaded again at 283 off VWAP again, and bang, right there to the upside. So the reason why I'm a little bit mellow yellow right now is because of, where's my NVIDIA trade? I have too many trades today on too many stocks. Well, I just feel like I'm talking more mellow right now. Is because this is what we did on NVIDIA. We wrote down 410, right? Or 412, first of all. So that's the break right there at 412. It wasn't great. We'd had one out there, but we did take a 410, then a 412. And everything was fine, right? Let me zoom back in a little bit here, just so we could see. Everything was fine. We actually had a great dip buy here at 408.70, which we got out at 411.70. So that's $3. So yeah. Bang, whatever, hit the bangs. But then all the way, this is, and again, this is what I mean, we're going to be down on NVIDIA. We have these outs right here after legging in at 406. Once it broke 406.50, we decided that was enough, but the real bottom was 405.50. So I wouldn't have held that because the problem is I'm long already at 407.50 to hold that 350. Although obviously in hindsight, it was more than fine, but at the time, market was pushing down. We talked about it today with what the market's been doing. I don't think a lot of us expected this kind of a move up. We talked about it early, holding 15,000, right? 15,000. It didn't. Once it got to it, it broke it, then just used that as a bottom, and then just kept on going up from there. So this is why we got out of NVIDIA. It was too scary. We were breaking yesterday. It's like we were breaking pre-market bottoms. And it's just like that name didn't get going until later on. So congratulations, anybody that had NVIDIA. I'm pretty proud that at least we were there, but we're not there now, and there goes NVIDIA. You said 405, 406 was the trillion?
It's 405.90 something, I think, technically.
All right, so
something like that. It's close enough.
What did Apple just do? I didn't even get any down here at 01s. We're short Apple now again because I think when Pratt and I were short the first time, Bogdanov, he got the wrong information from us. We wanted to go short, and I think he went in there and bought it. So, but now we've clarified that, and of course, all kidding aside, let's just see what happens here at 188. This is the 50 period. We went short. So, oh yeah, Apple. By the way, Apple, these are all longs. Are we talking about Apple later on? No, we're not. So I'll do this quickly. Apple today, big time longs, big time winner for me, huge. We actually covered right here. We talked about that. So we actually had like a $2 winner or something, or maybe $1.50. Then we covered and then went short, and that's where we got stopped out for about 12 pennies out on that. After about 20 pennies, short 90, short 95, out 11s. Now reback short again. So net, as long as this keeps on going down, we'll be fine. But net on this, we haven't done much damage since we've been up here. So all we're doing is making back that loss right there, right now. So hopefully it can fall back in. And then whatever, I don't want to. Bren's going to get mad. Let's go back over. We'll talk about Lucid, and then I still want to talk about Oracle. But
what am I doing? I don't care. You guys are on a roll, man. Lucid, Just took out $6 for anyone playing along or keeping score. Up today. I mean, there was nothing new. Aston Martin came out after the close and talked about their 2024, 2025 financial targets, upped them all right across the board. Even coming out this morning, again, saying that this EV deal specifically is going to double the potential for deliveries once they have something to sell.
Yeah, well, I think right now they're producing ICE cars. They're producing 15 to 16,000 with a maximum capacity of 17. Looking to double that. That's fantastic if they can get into the EV game. It looks like it's a marriage of necessity here, Brendo, a little bit, with Aston Martin looking to electrify. Let's see how this does the next few days.
Guys, how did Lucid go?
Well, it didn't. I actually didn't trade Lucid today. You know what? I'm now very glad that I didn't trade Lucid today because
Ride went like a shit show.
Yeah, well, I'll get to Ride in a second.
Maybe he meant to put Ride on there.
Maybe I think he meant to put Ride.
I think we've angered Brendan.
I think he didn't put Ride on there just to save our.
Well, I forgot to put makeup on.
Us, but you can't tell if I don't put the makeup on, then I blind everybody with my forehead. If you don't, it's not a big deal. No, I'm being serious. If you guys saw
God,
if you saw the lights that were here, it's a little bit intense, right? So
no,
I
not
get
at
it.
all. You can't even look up in them. Now I'm blind.
No, you shouldn't.
Maybe
look
I'll
up.
trade better now. Okay, what?
No, you really shouldn't look up in those lights. It's a bit intense, but it's just all for you guys. So Lucid is up 10%, believe it or not. And if I had shorted 6, I would have just lost. So yay, congratulations. If for some reason you decided you wanted to go long this morning and catch a falling knife on Lucid, you're rewarded with the high of the day. I left these lines in there. It's a very big difference between a pop and fade at 9:30 and at 2 o'clock while the market is screaming, taking that same short. So to me, let's look at 625 if it gets up there. I don't think it made sense to short it into the screaming, ridiculous move the market was making right now. We could get to the top, and if it gets there, then let's make a decision at 625. I think it's a better short. But the other thing to work off of this morning, and it happens every now and then.
Hey,
Lordstown Motors. So let's get this one out of the way. If hindsight's always going to be 20/20, right? And in hindsight, I'm happy. I don't mind this. I'll take the short every single time. There's the halt to the upside, fail the halt level, short 150 underneath in a VWAP, hold some for the dream, and then it stops out. Short when it makes this curl here, that's fine. Don't need to do it a second time. Short up at 2 twice into VWAP, I'll take it, hold some for the breakout. Every single one of those, with the exception of the initial short at the open, is I'm willing to go against the grain and take that trade. However, it's the one at the open that usually gets you because that's when the spread opens up the most, your stop gets run, and you get absolute horrible fills in, and that's what ends up ruining the day. It's not that great that I end up having to get stopped out at 2 before getting the win back into VWAP. That hurt as well because that would have been probably the best trade, and I didn't have a full trade on when I tried to get back into Ride. The other way to have sniffed this out, and we've talked about this before, if you've already broken support on a big gap down on Lordstown, which it had broken $1 to the downside, missing a bunch of data there, but it doesn't matter. You'd already broken $1 after gapping down on the chapter 11, and then you're grinding higher. So once that happens, if it doesn't break the low, there's only one place to go. And if that's the case, usually you want to wait for something extreme to put the short trade on. I got some FOMO and shorted it off the pre-market high. And that's what it is. Like you want it so bad because I remember for like 2 weeks in a row, Bed Bath & Beyond was a great short after Chapter 11. You had to get run over a few times first, but it's now straight up. And if we get to 250 on Lordstown, that would be the next. Actually, it's more like 260. 260 to 275 where we closed. That's the next area to even think about the shorts. That's a nasty one. What's up?
Please read this headline for everybody aloud.
No.
Okay.
Blue Jays Manoah allows 11 earned runs in a rookie ball start.
It's
two
rookie and
ball,
2/3 inning. No.
Double
That's
A.
below single A.
Rookie ball.
Like I coach higher.
Rookie ball.
Wow. Alek Manoah.
I think I could have held my own in rookie ball in my prime. That's all I'm gonna say. And I should.
So you're saying you could get a hit off Manoah right now? Oh, in your
Shouldn't
prime.
be. At my best, I could have held my own in rookie ball. I could have hit like $150 in rookie ball. But that's really bad. That's not good. I hope the best. I really hope the best for that kid.
What do you mean go back there? I'm not even done yet.
What are we talking
Fabian?
about? Oh, I don't know, man.
All right, I want to talk about Ride.
We just talked about Ride.
we're talking about Lucid. Yeah,
No,
I know,
but I mentioned right already.
Yeah, I know, but I just want to show that how disastrous it was.
Yeah, but it's just the same as mine.
Okay, back to Brent. Okay, all right.
No,
fine.
but it's the same. It's
Fine.
the same thing.
Fine, Neil.
What? I'm just.
All right, yeah. So short, screwed up. Got hit out at $2. They can go screw themselves all the way to $2.29. All right, you're
Is that
right.
exactly? Hold on a second. Is that exactly the same chart?
Close enough.
Can you flip back and forth? Is that exactly the
Brendan,
same?
what's the matter? Brendan's over there breaking down. What,
Can go from his to mine.
what is going on right now?
Distinction without a difference. Look at that.
Yeah, but I have this $2 out. Right
I
there.
have that out as well.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, but I got right back in.
Oh,
though.
right there.
It doesn't matter. It's the same nonsense. Every
right.
single one of these should have been a long. Every time I'm getting out of a short, imagine it was a long. Long there, long there. What a perfect entry. Perfect entry breakout. Perfect entry dip buy. Bad dip buy. Really good dip buy. Great breakout. Like every single short cover has been a gold level entry to the long side. Well, the market is continuing to go here. We're going to get to 15.1. I know we're going back and forth, but let's be real for a second. If we get to 15.15, yesterday's high, we will be no longer an inside day, Prad, and possibly in breakout territory. I have one short on. That's the only thing to be concerned with. It's Intel. It breaks 34 even. I'm out. I'm short at 97. I might reload 99s. Brendan?
Just went blank. Amazing. No, we were just
Brendan was like, what's going on?
The blanking Lucid.
Oh, that's what he
The
did.
disco Lucid is, but it wasn't what we thought it was. So
Ryan.
a work in progress, anyways, on why that
what
does
ride?
that. Alibaba
Yeah.
was interesting this morning. We were discussing the fact that it was downgraded, but up 4% at one point in the pre-market.
Yep.
Ends up not really doing a heck of a lot, just kind of sideways chop here for BABA, but there was more stimulus that came across from the Chinese government.
Yeah, more stimulus for businesses as they look to spur on consumer demand. The economy hasn't been recovering in the way that analysts and the government wanted it to, so looks like there's some more quantitative easing. Let's look at the chart. Brendo was accurate when we said we range traded today. 87.61 high, 86.71 low. Could not be more sideways, Brendo.
Yeah, no, couldn't have said it better myself. 2% still, guys, so a nice day overall for BABA, but downgraded, up 2%?
I don't know. I tried the breakout early, gave up on it, and should not have given up on it.
It's funny we go BABA up 2% downgraded. Ride files for Chapter 11 up about 200% since open.
Welcome to the markets, where those things don't necessarily matter. It's just about momentum and price action. And when BABA decides to get going, none of it really matters. I don't think there's a trade this afternoon on it. As I said, I had an 87 break that I stopped out for 25 cents because to me, that open breakout either works right away or it doesn't. It didn't work right away. If I hold on to it, you get the move. But even if, I suppose it was worth 50 cents. Right? If I give it more room on the 87 break, more than 25 cents, so then it only gave you 50 cents and then pulls back. So really, it was never going to be a great trade, more or less. So I don't think it's a trade here. It's flat, it's sideways, up 2%, that's all well and good. You got to be looking at big tech right now because if we break 15.15 on the NASDAQ, then all heck is going to break loose. NVIDIA 420, that's the big level. Obviously, Apple where it is right now. And have a look at some things like Microsoft. That's where the action is going to be this afternoon, not in the Chinese ADRs.
All right. Yeah, Bob, you talked about NEO a little bit. You just talked about Alibaba. I don't really have too much else to say here. JD could be yeah. I mean, every stock here, I'll just tell you what I'm looking at. Like every stock I try to bring up to look to see if there's any possible trade involved. It's kind of just barcoding like what we're doing right now. So just to be honest with you, 35.80, like that's going to be a short. But like Neil said, I mean, all eyes on yesterday, not on on yesterday's level. All eyes on me because that 15 is coming in right now. Here's the 30-minute chart on the NASDAQ. And, you're up to the 200 period right now. So no matter what stock we seem to talk about now, there's that bounce at 15,000. I mean, that's just right to the upside. But then these are the levels right here, 15,154. So we ticked it there. We ticked it here again, 15,150, 15,160, whatever you want to call it. It's also the 200 period. So yeah, you're running into some serious, I think anyways, resistance where we've been up here on nice runs before. I mean, obviously these are 30-minute candles. It didn't take too long for us to rip up the first time. Here it's kind of like a slow grind to the upside. But yeah, man, we are well up, man. I mean, the NASDAQ is huge today, up 1.8. So yeah, the fact that I'm sitting in 2 big NASDAQ names short, not great, but they're kind of hovering around right now, that being Oracle, like I was just talking about. When I was talking about it was all the way down here, so we were able to cover a little bit there. That's only 15 cents. But right here, we're short at 10s, gonna get out at the day's high on Oracle. That's another name that's trying to take out these levels. So this is why we're short. I think maybe if we do break higher, it's game on and you just go with it. But for right now, let's hold the short and see what happens. As Apple, wow, 188.20 right now. That also dipped down, and there it is. There's some covers what we were talking about at 187, 188. Remember when we were like, okay, we're just making back what we lost? Well, looks like we're going to give some back right now on this break as well of 188.20. I don't have any. This is already all-time highs, so there's nothing to talk about here with Apple, I believe, anyways. Am I wrong on that?
All-time closing.
Yeah, still. We haven't been here at all.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that wick yesterday obviously didn't happen.
No, that's
and
not
there
good.
goes Apple right now, breaking through 20. So we'll close that last position. We should still be long. We made money long, and we just gave it back twice short. But, you know, Apple today just keeps on working to the upside. Now up 1.6%, 80 cents away from that 189 level, and then we know what's after that. So far, so good here on some of these trades, as Oracle pulling back and Apple not. So maybe Oracle's going to be fine.
All right, we were talking Unity in the pre-market. What a move for this thing today. Wells Fargo initiating coverage at overweight down here. As far as the analysts are concerned, we also discussed this note as well. They played the AI card to the best of their ability today with this new marketplace for services and products in the gaming space. So wow, 15% almost here for you.
Yeah, they're looking to reduce barriers to entry for those wanting to program games. And so they're giving you use tools for used in AI to help you kind of create those games. I think it's a good look. Chart action, though, we kind of had that 36.75 bottom where we started the day off. 42.19, Brendo. I don't really see a retracement level here except maybe at 41. Very strong.
This thing was already on a bit of a tear over the past few weeks, but nice day to say the least.
One of these days, Brendan's going to say that because it only works if it's the first time somebody says it. Like, if I say it after you've already said Unity 5 or 6 times in the segment, it's really not the same thing. So next time, Brendan, you just got to do it. Brandon, one time, he's shaking his head. He's like, no, it's not going to happen.
I told you, that's not happening.
I'm too professional. I take things too seriously.
That's not happening.
It's up 15%, if not now, when? That's all I'm going to say.
It's why you get paid the big bucks.
No, well, not really. Because I don't really do impressions very well. I wish I could do impressions. That would be so useful in the show. So anyways, I have a trailing stop on this. I said when we broke out from here that there was room to get to the highest close, which, as I slide back to the daily, you'll see that's like 42.75-ish. That's the resistance on the daily chart. So I have an order out there in front of 50s. I was going to go all the way up to that 42.75, but since we're already at the high on the NASDAQ, I feel it's more local, and I'm trailing it underneath 41.75. So that'll lock in to ensure about $1.25 at the least, probably 135. And let's see what happens. Either we press to the high, get to that target range, or not. The market is at resistance. This stock could be on one. I think we look back and see if we hold that 42 level. And tomorrow, if we do hold the top, you're looking at these local highs here, 44 and 45. And quite frankly, that's actually more exciting on the daily chart. Once you get out and above, a close above 43 gets really interesting on Unity, which, let me double check, only 9% short float. But if it's doing this, it's been on a tear already, nice consolidation higher, breaking out on the daily once it closes above 43. So that's what we're watching for today. I don't know if it gets there because the NASDAQ's at resistance. Oh, and the other one, just because it happens to be AI related, and Palantir, I didn't really get, 14 would have been the real trade on Palantir. I mean, anybody, congratulations. Congratulations! If you sniff these out, it closed at 13.94. It breaks 14, and then that bottom wick is 13.96. As far as trade setups happen, the only easier setup, and I'll show you, is Nikola, and I'll get to that one a little bit later. but it's not that hard. You see it break 14, you know green to red's at 94. The second it doesn't break that, you're long back above at 01s, 02s, stop underneath the low, and then you're just bingo, bango, bongo. That's your long for the day. It's that wipeout bottom setup that's so golden. You could have had 14.20 double bottom here higher. I had nothing until it started making a top at yesterday's high. So when it was breaking out yesterday's high, that's when I went into the long going into 14.5, reloaded it. So all my longs were down at 42 and 44. Pretty much everything we took is 42 and 44, still holding on to a piece of it, looking for 15 bucks on Palantir. But that's just a stock trending and you're joining the trend, as opposed to, that if you're only watching Palantir, that could be your one trade right there, down at that 14 level. And that's the alpha. Then the next trade, of course, that 14.20 double bottom buying the dips, or you just take the breakout. So when a stock is trending up, there's lots of ways to get into it. Obviously, the early one would be the best, and Intel is about to run 34.
Oh, geez. So first of all, new position. We just took Google right here, short. It's working, but we're short Google right now. Again, a name that just turned green. If the market pulls back, I think we probably got a good one here in Google. Let's see if we can make a little bit of money back on the short here for Google. Like, I wouldn't expect it to go too far. Like, I mean, 118 would be great. 118.14 is the 200 period. That'd be great. I don't know if that market's going to do that for us here today. But we tweeted this out to Alpha Trends as well. Our friend Brian Shannon, he also, actually he did something cool. He did bang. He said bang on this trade as well for us right here. So here's what we tweeted out. It's Roblox. And again, it's just off right here, that VWAP trade. So click on this. You see there it is right there. Yo, what's up, Brian? There it is with the banger trade there. A VWAP, anchored VWAP. Brad talked about that a little bit on his show there. I'm not anchoring anything. I'm just taking a true VWAP. But yeah, you could anchor it to the beginning of the day or whatever you want. I think it still would have been true. Right there, 41. We talked about Roblox earlier. I think it was Crypto Gangsta. You gave me that trade the first time at 41. Then it came back in and we were reloaded. And right now, I mean, huge trades again all day here on this name. And we still, as I look down, make sure we still have this position. We still do. So I want to hold this again to see if we get back in and around this area roughly here on Roblox. But guess what just happened, man? The market trying to go upside again right now, 15,121. Like, look at the 50 period here. Like, it's just riding it the whole damn time. This only dipped down at 1 o'clock. Since then, though, man, that was the only buy opportunity if you're playing that strategy. But way up, man, way up. And very, very impressive today for the NASDAQ, up 1.8%. There's really no sleeping on this market, man. If you've missed it, you've missed it. But wow, what a big market here today. Free Fall Wednesday? I don't know. Unity AI, yeah. So we just talked a little bit about Roblox. Wednesday. Look, even that logo's dancing around as well.
Something else.
I like that. All right, and I don't know, what's the story behind this something else there, Brendo?
It's free roll Tuesday afternoon. I don't know. Regeneron, guys, halted news pending right now. I haven't seen anything yet, but this is not a stock that typically halts, so this should be interesting. REGN, halted news pending, so we'll keep an eye on that. Free roll time. What do you want to have a look at?
Oh, wow, you put me on the spot there. Well, I mean, Apple, that's the one that I was involved in all day. We can talk about this one. Not really much of a headline, Brendo, except to say that all-time highs are incoming. We got above yesterday's high. Yesterday, we topped out at that 188 area. We're marching on now, 188.22. Bradley may be blonde soon.
Bradley may be blonde soon. That'll be a good day. The rundown is always brought to you by Trade Ideas, real-time scanning and alerting used on this desk by everyone you see on the show. See what's moving in the moment with Trade Ideas. Check out the bottom right corner right now. Still 25% off, guys. Trader TV 25 over at Trade Ideas. I will keep an eye out for Regeneron.
So we will keep an eye out for that. I'm going to give a shout out to Brankles, our trading floor assistant manager, the assistant to the assistant manager, Dwight Schrute, Brankles. And quite frankly, this morning, Nikola was at $1, and I was looking at this and saying, down 2 days in a row, quadunk after quadunk, absolute mess of a stock. The $1 break is going to be absolute gold. It was at 50 cents a month ago. So a $1 break is going to be absolutely fantastic. And then I was reminded, hey, remember when you got run over earlier in the morning on Ride and it was SSR and it bounced? Well, Nikola was SSR because it was down 10%. So light bulb went off in my head. I don't have that key. Light bulb went off in my head saying, and this was not a light bulb, it was literally Brankles saying, why would you not be looking for the long if you like the dollar level? So SSR, sit on the bid at 101. It doesn't break it even. It just glides higher. It might only go, the high right now is like 107. It might only go to 107, 108, 109. However, that's the lower hanging fruit sometimes. It never was a bunch of a risk. You're not going to miss getting out at a dollar if it happens to break down. So that's the reason I'm in it. It is still, it's down 4% today. So let's get this out of the way. And if it got to like if it makes a big squeeze to the upside, I'm probably still looking to short it because that's what I think should happen. But low hanging fruit there was Nikola. I wish I could tell you that I was in. Sometimes you draw these pretty lines on the chart and you want to use them. This was 247 on Tesla. That's this lower high than the 250 level. Short of the 247 was one and done for a scalp trade for a couple of bucks, and then did nothing with the 250 trade because that just happened. So we wicked 250 and you're back down at 249. I think once that happens once, I don't want to go back and revisit it. If we get there again, I'm not so sure that we don't just break out. Tesla up 3%. I don't feel like fighting this one. As I mentioned, I'm already short Intel. It's at 33.99. And I'm short 98, and it's about to take out the high. It'll be 3 or 4 cents worth of risk, but I feel like, I know Sean already said this, but I'll just double down on it. There's something a little bit, I know it's 34 even, but there's something a little bit weird about my first long being at 933, and then just continuously going long, like long over and over again. It gets to the high at 34, and all I'm thinking about is go short right in front of that level, when it could end up just being a breakout through 34 if the NASDAQ goes.
Yeah, no, this is a bad.
We're done.
What I want to talk about, quickly was Meta. Yeah, so I just saw Meta ripping, right? So I checked notes here. On the sticky note today, we talk about 280 for Meta. We talk about why we like it, 52-week high yesterday, WhatsApp for monetization, all the stuff. It's right here, right? And so then, obviously we went long down there at 280, which we did. And I'm pretty happy getting out where we did, 287, but obviously right now you're up to 290. So, a couple dip buys, Meta, going to be naturally my #1 stock today. How can't it be? We don't have any losing trades here. But there goes Meta all the way to 289.50 today, Lynn. Just keeps on going, man. Yesterday we talked about that 52-week high, and now today looks like we're trying to get right back upside, up 4%. Like, what a monster. This is where we were yesterday. So let's see if it holds these levels again. So yesterday we made that 52-week high, breaking through 290. That was all in the pre-market there. So if you're going to use, actually once we opened up, you got to find where there's volume. So either way, you're right here right now, 290. It's almost 290 to the penny here with the high from the post or the open market. I guess the pre-market we were higher, but right there, I guess it's these kind of wicks right now. 289.85, 289.90, 290 coming into play again here for Meta. So wow, what a beast. At least we were right on calling the long, but maybe not, potentially not right on the execution. But to hold something all the way, we've talked about this over and over again, you're going to drive yourself crazy trying to look at these things and make decisions. So, you do the best you can at that time. We came all the way back in, and yeah, we just played sort of off that high, 287.50. So I thought it was doing pretty good getting 287 flat there. It was good until this last little move upside here. Now the market trying to make some more serious moves. Seems like now anyways. Although we're just hovering around, it's a lot of these names continue to go up. Like Google looks like oh man, we have that bad wick. And these ones too. Looks like Google does want to take 119. We're going to get out of half if it just continues to go up through 70. I feel like we'll get out of half right there. What just happened there? Oracle. Oracle we just got stopped out on. It just kept going up. So there's Oracle right there stopped out. Oh, well. Nice move to the upside for Oracle. Like I said, the short, we have to wait for pullbacks now. But I want to put some stuff on to trade. But honestly, I know. I was going to say, to go long right now just doesn't seem like that's the right risk.
The NASDAQ's at 15,126. With yesterday's high being 15.1. 51. So there's a little bit of room, but are you really trying to eke out an entry into a long when that's where we're sitting in the market? Maybe there's something that could be playing catch up. Like if the market were to make a test of that high, is something that's so far enough away that it's been lagging and you can play a little catch up with it. If you can find that, I think you're good to go. As I said, the only position that we have that's new is reversing an Intel in front of 34. I have 90. My last entry was actually at 99, so now I have 98 change as my price, but I want some out in front of 90. It just feels like we want to go here. Palo Alto, shout out to Fireball in the chat. Fireball? Look at Pan W. Yeah, look at it. It's spectacular. It's through 250. It's at fresh highs. It is, up and to the right. That's what I'm supposed to say because charts go the other way every now and then apparently. So yeah, up and to the right, as we love to say around here. It's just golden. I don't know if the market takes out the top, it's coinciding with a bit of a consolidation break, I suppose, on Palantir. On Pan W, I said Palantir because I'm in Palantir. It begins with P. So I don't know. I don't know if I want to be taking a top-end break on this particular name, but there's worse things out there. If we carry through the high in the NASDAQ, anything super strong is probably going to be a gorgeous setup. I do prefer dip buys at this time of day to get the trend. That to me would be probably a little closer to 52.5. And even then, I think you're too tight to the top, given where we're sitting on the NASDAQ. So I'd be sitting it out, but congratulations. What else is going on? Like CCL, Randy says. Randy just loves to yell out names, usually yells out Ford.
Correct.
So yeah, I'm mad at myself for this one. Oh, this is a good one to talk about because I wrote down or even talked to you guys and said the plan of action on CCL was the $15 level. I'll go short it, but that's a reversal if it breaks out. After the Huadunk on earnings holds the higher low. Remember they beat top and bottom and their guidance was a beat too. They still got punished. And what happens? Relief rally the second day. They have a short interest. And I didn't reverse it. Didn't reverse at 15. I had 3 shorts in there. One was good out of those 3, but that should have been a reverse long. All world, all the way up to almost up to 16. If it makes another press to the upside, I don't think it's stretching the imagination to say if it gets past like 16.25, I think you're at least looking for a short into 16.50. Just the way that it behaved there yesterday and last week. You want to have a look at that. But that's a crazy retracement. Crazy, crazy move. And remember yesterday how great that long was at 14. Same thing at 15. Just clean dollar to the upside.
I see Randy and I both saw our barbers, so shout out to Randy. How is Halim doing?
Good. Going on vacation.
I know. Well, he's going back home. Yeah, we talked
Hold
about
on a second.
that
I have
yesterday.
an obvious question. You actually get a fade. Like he
tries to fade it in there.
He fades it in.
Yeah. That's why I was saying.
But what's
the buzz?
So why don't you just do it yourself?
I do sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to have to.
Yeah, he's gone for a month there.
It's only a month.
Yeah, it's all good. Randy, the smartest guy in the room.
$50 to just bick your head?
For him? Yeah, that's not even a bit. That's just that's like a number
just a
one
buzz
or
cut, like
something.
number
that
one,
was not even. That you could definitely do
You
by
can
yourself.
do that yourself.
Definitely.
I'm just saying.
Do that one by yourself.
I'm way too cheap for it. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so what? Too cheap to do it by yourself? No, do it by yourself.
I'm way too cheap to go bald at my barber. Like when I had my COVID cut.
Oh.
Like that was.
Yeah. You might
after
as
the
well.
first time, couple nicks.
I would feel more nervous to do it. Yeah, that's the thing. I guess once you get experience.
Yeah, the first times was kind of a mess, but after that, it was no problem.
I'd feel. Yeah, I don't know. That feels.
Spend it on the beer. That's the way to go.
Yeah, it's good. I guess what? Just a straight razor? I guess like a blade.
Yeah, I can just use the blade.
man,
I'm not
I
using
don't
a
know. I
straight
feel like
razor.
I'd
I can use
screw
my
that up.
regular blade. And it's
you just use a
pretty
regular
good.
blade?
If you have a
Okay.
good one. So there's a question in the chat. This is way too easy. Darwin, how many likes for some shaved bald heads? I don't know. Really?
No, we're not doing those like.
You want to play that game with me?
I mean, Neil's debating doing that anyway.
I'll do it anyways. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like it's easy enough for me.
Neil ruthless.
It's a long-term end game as far as I'm concerned, right? Like I know where everything's going to end up eventually for me. So always lower and lower, and then eventually it's just going to be bald. You guys have already seen it because when I couldn't go to my barber, which kind of sucked, then I was just going bald. I did it plenty of times on the show. As a matter of fact,
I was just breaking laws
Yeah, my
at
little
that point.
avatar pic down there. They took that picture when I had my COVID
Oh yeah, there
cut.
it is. Yeah.
So I was and yes, I actually had to put makeup on the top of my head so I wouldn't be blinding you guys. It's true. It's true. And I'm not going in Istanbul to get a hair transplant.
Istanbul.
Not
Yeah, I
bad.
should go there. Anyone want to sponsor that? Yeah.
Go to Istanbul.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I'm not. I would look ridiculous in a shade.
You can get plugs here, can't you? If you wanted to do that, I guess.
I don't know. I could phone some people and find out.
I know exactly what you're talking about. We're not going to out him.
No,
but
we're not doing anything. No.
But we may or may not have designed a shirt about this person's fantasy.
Now you're flat out.
I'm not saying his name. I'm just simply saying that only one person in our fantasy football league's history has ever had such poor performance that we made up a shirt commemorating how bad he was. It had his yearly record, had a picture of him in a Halloween costume. It was fantastic. I lost my shirt, by the way. I have no idea what happened.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I said I was going to look for mine.
I lost mine in the move. I have no idea what I did with
still think I have it.
We need a better
wigs, eh? Wigs.
I'm not going to wear a wig. Coin 69 short? No way it's at 69.
What?
You tell me you're lying.
No, it can't be. That's not
Nile
possible.
Driver,
It is.
It is at 69.
It is at 69.
Should have just gone long in this stock, too. That's a lot of stock.
Sometimes when people say that price, it's
66 short. That was good. Don't always re-enter at the same, play the same level twice. That's one thing to work on. So 66 was the right level. Trying it a second time was a bad idea. 69 feels like it could be a short, but 70, no, not there yet. Let's let it get to, look at the daily chart up here at 70 bucks. This is a 70 short. That's what I want.
What's crypto? It's still only 30,800.
Yeah.
And Ethereum's 19 flat.
The problem with that is if you get stopped out of the short like
There's
3 times when it didn't even get to the levels that you think the seller should come in, you'll just be mad at yourself for, I don't think I'm wrong till 71, but I'm short at 69 and then getting stopped out like 5 times trying to make the trade work. That's what I would end up doing. So I'll wait for it to get to 70 bucks, probably tomorrow. Oh, give me a break.
I just closed. Let's just do this, man. I mean, we'll fire off the hot dog cannon because, honestly, this is not something that I normally do that I'm trying to get better at. And that is just play the damn momentum instead of waiting for support and resistance levels. And I mean, that's exactly what we did here on AMD. I just had enough of it. It was like, okay, it's breaking 109. Everything is basically mooning here. Let's just go long, and we have 3 fills. So and again, sometimes when I have too many shares, I do get out too quickly just because, but again, definitely out too quickly on this one. The 109 long, a lot of outs here in 35s, 40s, then we finally held something for 70, and right now, it's just, this to me, looks potentially like we've gone a little too far, and people can't get this above 1050, so we just took a 1020 fill there. Literally 1020 out, boom. Now we'll wait to see what happens here with AMD. Okay, went down, there it is right there, 1020, 1020. So it looks like this name wants to maybe fall down. We were pretty, I don't want to say lucky. I don't think we're lucky when we're short and the stock, quite frankly, doesn't want to go down. To me, that seems unlucky. But right now, Google, on this little market retracement, like I honestly thought with this stock being as sort of as red as it is, it's not red on the day, but I just mean compared to this bad boy, I thought Google would have retraced a little bit further than this, and obviously I'm wrong on that. There's the short. We just covered some at 50, and now here's the bump back up on Google. So in what is just one position for me right now, I know you guys see that I have Roblox, and that's great, but it's, well, it's right here at the high again. I was just waiting. I'm just waiting for much more. But here we are right back at the high.
You trailing
we only have 10%. I'm not trailing it. No, I only have 10% on this. It's not huge. The problem with me trailing it is I'm already short Google. So, and what I mean by that, and why is it a problem? Okay, I'll tell you. Because if this continues to go down, which it's not, but if it does, then the Roblox trade obviously would come down as well, which would be fine. My problem is on the upside. If I get stopped out of this, at least I still have something on Roblox that's carrying it a little bit higher. But Roblox at day's high, no qualms about it if anybody gets out right now. Like, it's just, I want to do the opposite of what I would normally do now, because normally I'd see this and get out, but today doesn't feel, it just feels like it wants to keep going up here.
Costanza.
So I already feel bad. What's the Costanza there?
Opposite day.
Oh,
he does the opposite of everything that he thinks, and then everything goes right for him that day.
One of the best shows was when he wanted to do for the New York Yankees, he wanted to do a giveaway, and it was winter tires or something like that. Do you know how expensive those are? Anyways, and then they were wearing the cotton jerseys, and they were all sweating like crazy and everything.
Danny Tartabull.
That
was Paul O'Neill probably.
That show's great, but I don't know. The Office, I think, is greater in my opinion, but I was just watching the last season or two. As soon as Michael Scott was gone there, and Steve Carell,
It's just not the same.
Yeah, I was like watching it, hoping that, okay, maybe my memory, you know, not the greatest, which it isn't. But for that, yeah, I do remember it not being as good. So I don't know what you guys think.
You got to be
about that.
super legit to be able to have like a main character on any show.
They tried
after
Will
that
Ferrell.
long.
They tried
be
a couple
gone.
different guys in there.
It doesn't always work. The one shout I'll give it, I always thought Homeland pulled it off the best. The main character left Homeland. They had like 6 more seasons, which were all pretty fantastic. But it is time. He's never going to give you up. He's never going to let you down. At the desk, we have our guest of the day, Mr. Frank Cabrera.
Yeah, we'll get his opinion on a few things that are coming up, not only this week, but heading into next week, we'll get a little more data on the inflation front that'll be capped off with non-farm payrolls. That's going to end things off next Friday. More comments to come, however, from Fed Chair Powell, as we were mentioning, to kick things off here at 2 o'clock. Coming up tomorrow. Frank, how are you?
Great, my friend. I'm glad to be on here. Yeah, a lot of stuff moving today in the stock world, Forex world, interest rate world as well. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff to come in the near future. So it's great to see some organic movement before we even have some major events this week. Fed Chair Powell speaking, and also PCE. I know you all love it as much as, you know, Fed Chair Powell loves the PCE reading that we'll get on Friday. I'm sure we'll talk more about that in a second, and on our Thursday spot as well. But first, yeah, I want to talk about what we're seeing here today, because I always try to rope in all parts of the economy. There's a synergy to the fact that we're seeing these highs in US dollar, Japanese yen, and also British pound, Japanese yen, and euro yen as well for the last several years. And in this case, for the last 25 years, we're at highs in this Forex market, and what we're seeing in the interest rate market and stock market. We'll get to that in a second, but I just want to shout out how big of an extreme we are seeing here to the upside for US dollar, euro, and British pound, and to the downside for Japanese yen, as you may have thought that the highs that we put in near the end of last year, which were 20-plus year highs going back to right before the dot-com crash in 1998, you might have thought that we were out of the woods here to start the year. The euro bounces back, British pound bounces back, Brendan, against the US dollar, but this Japanese yen is back on the back foot, so to speak, here as we're nearing those highs once again for US dollar. And it's the same thing, euro yen, which is a very popular Forex market as well. That market is now at highs going back to 2008, and British pound versus the yen also at highs now going back to 2015 at the outset of Brexit. So huge extremes we're seeing having to do with the yen here, Brendan, for the last several years, all the way up to 25 years. Where are these extremes coming from? Well, a ton of what we're seeing right now has to do with the divergence that we've seen in interest rates. Japan still at negative 10 basis points, and the recent resurgence in weakness for the yen coming because the Bank of Japan came out in the last couple of weeks and said, not only are we staying at negative 10 basis points, we have no interest in budging from negative 10 basis points. And this is coming at a time where why is the euro and the pound bouncing back against the US dollar? Because they've gotten up to 4% and 5% respectively, and they're expected to hike even more in the coming months. And so the battle is on between euro, pound, and US dollar, but that yen is just not taking part in any of it. And traders are on the short side of dollar, euro, and pound, and on the long side of this yen here at this extreme, Brendan. We have a really nice tracker here at IG that lets you know, similar to the commitment of trader report or any kind of trader sentiment tool, it sifts through all the data of traders with positions in our different Forex markets and lets you know the percentage of them that are long or short. And a lot of people thinking that this extreme will mean revert, but as long as these gaps between interest rates from the major central banks here stays wide and potentially gets wider, this extreme could get even more out of hand.
because they're pretty impressive to say the least. 7 out of 10 traders long yen currently. Of IG traders, 70% short dollar yen, as you were mentioning, and more than 70% are short euro yen as well. So as you were saying, decade-long extremes coming into play here. So it's worth, mentioning the fact that these are levels we haven't seen, as you said, going back to before there was a 2 handle on the calendar as far as the years are concerned. We're still going to get a few more data points going forward here now when we bring it back to the North American story of what is happening as far as the U.S. is concerned for interest rates. Still a few more data points, as you mentioned, PCE coming up this week. We get NFP, then non-farm payrolls, the end of next week. I mean, 80% right now points towards another quarter point to come.
Yeah, it's crazy. Again, there's a synergy to all of this, right? Almost every tick higher in projections for U.S. interest rates, and yeah, now it's an 80% chance of a hike here in July's meeting, and this was near 50-50 a few weeks ago, and has been ticking higher and higher. And there's a synergy between that and U.S. dollar beating the hell out of Japanese yen. It's almost moving tick for tick because Japan is glued to 0% interest rates, and we're continuing to move higher as the Euro area and UK are as well. And it'll be really interesting to see, not only for this Forex story, but also for the stock story, what Fed Chair Powell says in the next 2 days. I believe he's speaking in Europe tomorrow morning and then the next late night. But it'll be interesting to see what he says. It'll be interesting to see what we see out of the PCE reading on Friday as well, expected to come in line, I think, at around 4.5% to 5%, where inflation has been coming in. And it'll also be, really interesting to see what the non-farm payrolls is for next week, because you and I have been on this story, Brendan, for the last almost 2 months or so, since pretty much March, that now not only are interest rates moving higher in the US and the Euro area and the UK, leading to strength in those currencies, but I think there's no coincidence in the odds of a rate hike climbing today, interest rates climbing today, and the stock market also climbing. There is now this feeling of good economic data, or higher than expected economic data, depending on whether you're looking at inflation or employment or what have you, leading to higher interest rates, leading to confidence in this stock market. They're moving in tandem. And today's a great example of that. I mean, a big move higher for short-term interest rates today, and NASDAQ's back above 15K.
Yeah, we were sitting here before we came on at 2 o'clock looking at both the 2 and the 10-year. I mean, 4.8, 4.9, again, coming back into play. This, just perfect trend to the upside. No sign of giving in whatsoever for short-term rates, as you said. I wanted to get your opinion on one data point that we got this morning as well before we let you go here. Canadian CPI comes out this morning, 3.9%. So I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the first time we've seen a 3 handle in quite some time.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see. And in all of these places, except for the UK, actually, are linked. Everyone's inflation has been dropping, which you would think is going to lead to interest rates normalizing back down to 3 and 4%. But you are getting this feeling of interest rates either staying where they're at in places like Canada, the US, UK, obviously more so than others, as they've got inflation still in the 8 handle. And in the Euro area as well, even though inflation is dropping a little bit, Brendan, central banks are still projected to have interest rates either where they're at or a little bit higher and for longer. I mean, we have it actually here that the US interest rate, we were pricing in a potential cut by the end of the year. There was like a 70 to 80% chance a month ago that the US was expected to cut by the end of this year. And now that those odds of a potential cut by the end of the year are down to less than 30%, and they're getting priced out by the minute, it seems. And so even though Canadian inflation comes in lower and Canadian dollars down a little bit, but also crude oil is getting smacked today as well, so some correlation there, Canadian central bankers have more information than we're getting publicly, and they just surprised hiked this month. Yeah. So for whatever reason, inflation is, though it's lowering, central bankers are still worried about it, or they're just maybe using it as a reason to keep interest rates as high as possible for as long as possible. If there is an inevitable recessionary period coming, they have more ammunition to move that market in the upward direction if we see, another 10, 20 to 30% down year like we did in 22.
Yeah, and it was that, and we talked about it the last time you were here, it's that buffer, that once they get positive rates, it's that buffer that they want to maintain to help maintain the directional movement of inflation overall. But yeah, and that was the point I was getting at, a quarter point surprise from the Bank of Canada, and then we get this finally a print below 4%. Maybe we see that again in the U.S. For the first time in quite some time. On the next CPI print. Great stuff, as always. Frank Caberna, Senior Content Strategist over at IG in the U.S. Great to see you, as always, my friend.
Thanks, Brendan.
Thank you, as always, Frank. This is Trader TV Live is the only place where you will get high-level macro analysis from a chill dude with a backwards cap on. That's what makes this the coolest show out there. Quite frankly, I'm just keeping it real, man.
That is keeping it real.
Because, to be honest, just because you're smart and knowledgeable about the markets doesn't mean you have to wear a suit. That's what's up, Frank. Frank's comfortable. He's chilling. He's dropping science on you guys. We forgot to mention this. There's not a lot of earnings this week. And I know we didn't really do the earnings board this morning or at 11 o'clock. We usually get into it. Micron, I believe, is after. What day is today? Tuesday? It's after the bell tomorrow, right? Or is it? Brendan, you double check that? Yeah, so it's after the market tomorrow. I don't know if they're going to have, I think it's after market tomorrow.
Yeah, it's not before market.
It's not usually not before market. But this is on a tear, just broke the high of the day. I know everything is breaking the high of the day. Let's get that out of the way first. But what an absolutely ridiculous, insane, absurd bounce has had off 64. Just to remind everybody what this looks like on the daily chart. If you trade chip names, I guarantee you Micron is not the first thing that comes into your mind when you're a day trader. However, when it gets to $64, it should be the first thing that comes into your mind as a trader. Because this level, whether it was short it, whether it's been long it on the dips, this has been absolute trading gold. And I did not see this morning until it was pointed out by one of our viewers, was like, have a look at Micron. You see it wick underneath that 64, immediate rejection of the bottom and recovery, and off to the proverbial races. So great longs. If it gets through yesterday's high, that was a double top at 66.70. Suffice to say, if it gets there, I hope I found myself in a long before that happens. 66 looks like an interesting dip by. The market's trying to curl here. As I mentioned, the only thing I've really been doing up at the top was a couple of fills up on Intel in front of 34. First at 97s. I've got some 98s and 99s now. I'm already taking some out as it gets in the low 90s. If we get VWAP, I feel like that's a miracle. If anything wants to retrace to VWAP in an afternoon like we're having today, that's fantastic. You'll take it. It is an upward trending stock. As I said earlier, I know we flip from longs to shorts. And if you're thinking, well, what's obvious? You want to short it off of the 34 high. Well, you could be getting out of your long. You don't have to short that. You could be playing in this in the other direction, allowing it to make a higher low, and where you're kind of that, you're not going to get that wick. I'm sitting on the bid and getting lucky, but maybe you're going long into this here. I've elected the other direction, so until 34 breaks, I'm shorting these 99s. I probably don't take it a third time. I think that's almost a little bit crazy. But yep, it is working off this 34 level, but you've got to be scalping this trade because you don't always get the big follow through. If the NASDAQ decides this is it and we're going to give it up, we're not breaking through the high of the day, then yeah, you want some exposure to trade like a short off the top that gives you the opportunity. If you do get a dip, 15.06 and consolidate there, there might be some dip buy longs and some strong games. And by the way, Tesla.
Don't tell me it's
congratulations. Not to me. Not to me. Definitely not to me. Because as I said, I drew 2 lines on Tesla today, and the purpose of doing so is that you like to trade there. It doesn't matter whether you like the long or the short. It's that you want a decision is to be made there. Either you're shorting it or you're breaking it out at 47. I did nothing with 250. That's exactly what my darn Meta chart looks like because Meta, it's even more embarrassing. Whatever. Yeah, this was because, yeah, once it broke through here at that 85 level, It's just screaming. We never got to 290, so I don't think there was a short available for Meta, but it's absolutely screaming to the upside all day. It is pulling back, and I think that's what's causing some of these shorts to work. Is one of the strongest names out there is pullback in Tesla. One of the strongest names out there, actually the strongest big tech name today, I think. I could be wrong about that. Meta pulling back as well. So that's why we're getting a bit of a dip. That's going to be the reason for this Intel trade finally starting to work. I do need to probably cover some more of Palantir, though. Is holding on. I don't have a trailing stop on Palantir. So I probably want to get something out manually underneath 1470. I'm just sitting on the offer at 69. Put an offer, it goes right through 69. Yeah, I just need to take something out because you're rolling off the top. I have not added to this position. It did not halt in the middle of the day either. I don't think this gets to VWAP, but I would not want it to pull all the way back into 1450 and not take profit as I see the market trying to make a move down. And trying is the operative word because, quite frankly, most of these dips have been bought. There's no more than 2 consecutive red candles on my 15-minute chart on the NASDAQ for the entirety of the day, and we just had 2, which has meant so far today that it's going green again. That's why you take profit on your shorts.
I'm trying to be as serenity now as possible. So, all right. So here's Google. When we left you to go to Frank, we were shorting, you know what, out of this name. There it is. Nice take. Short, short, short. It takes out 119. We wait for 119.05. It goes all the way up. We get out and make the top at 119.07, but we're still holding half. So it's like, this is the thing. We finally get a good trade on, and it's a winner. It's a nice winner, right? But like, I'd have double the shares here. So it's like going from 1,000 to 500, whatever. You take the hit there, then when it comes back in, it's all great. Thank God we got that 50 period as well, or else I'd be even more upset. But that's the market. That's the market. So, but anyways, that's an out right there at the high of the day for Google. So it's going to look ridiculous if you see that, but that's it right there. Good thing we held half and it came right back in. Holding half hasn't been good today. If you've held half the whole time, then you just keep on adding to your losses. But at least this one this time does retrace back down. All right, I feel confident. I don't feel confident in this market going down. What I was feeling confident about was that we broke the 50 period. But now you see this in one candle straight back up. So we do all this work to stay underneath, and then all we do is basically resist the dump again. And here's the line that we drew ages ago at 15.1, and now that seems to be the part, right? So that's why we're trying to hold this. If we break back down below 15.1, I would love for us to get to 15,000 again. It's 3:02. It is now power hour, and if there's going to be ever a time to do it, hopefully it's in this last hour. But we've seen the NASDAQ also ramp up just as quickly. Power hour means more. Brendo, what's up, Brendo?
Regeneron, guys, still halted here, but there was an FDA ruling that came across on their high-dose eye treatment. So this Eylea is a eye disease treatment. So they've declined. The FDA has declined to approve the high-dose version only of that treatment. Still halted though for REGN.
Yeah, that could be a little bit wild off the reopen. Given the fact that the news base halted, it's disseminated, typically it could open up, it could still open up, but if you get in the last 10 minutes of the day or 10, 15 minutes,
right,
unlikely. You can always check, just as very quickly, I'm going to talk about Unity in a second, but you can always go to, if you happen to be in a halt or curious about one, go to NASDAQtrader.com, their halt page, and you will see like a resumption time. So they have a quote resumption time and they have a trade resumption time set. So 3:15 it should open back up, and that's where you want to get your confirmation. Usually we'll tell you as well. I know Brendan will do a good job there. So we'll probably look at Regeneron. I don't know if it's usually a day trade for us. I've moved my trailing stop as I am prone to do here. Fresh high on Unity, so back underneath 42 is going to be the stop. Remember, the highest close that this has had on the daily is about 42.75. So I want to be out in front of that. That feels like it's the reasonable line in the sand, and we'll look for a continuation of this move tomorrow. It is late enough in the session that I'm not sure how much further it's going to go. You can see it's been gliding to the upside. Most of the parabolic movement was early. It's been a slow grind to the upside since. So I'm going to trail underneath 42 even and just let this one go. What else is moving here? I know Coinbase, I said, let Coinbase get to 70. Well, in this market, if you're waiting for a stock to get to a big level upside so you can try a short, chances are it's going to get there. Not happening just yet. 69 even, We're still at 69 even. I want 70 to break. I want a fail breakout style trade, or just any kind of parabolic move into the level I'm looking for, and then catch a bit of a turn like we did here earlier. Just only take the one shot at it. If I'm taking a second shot at a level like this, it should be working off a lower high. Like it should be making a curl at a lower high, and then I'm entering the trade like this. So imagine this was 66. If I tried it once there, then I should be willing to try again there. Doing this short and then shorting it at the high second time through when there's no weakness makes absolutely no sense. And when you're looking at it going against the grain, you should have hard rules that you set yourself up for. Broke one today in Coinbase, definitely broke one there's no question it was breaking a rule in Lordstown. And that rule was it had broken the dollar down, it had recovered the dollar. That is a bullish move off the bottom, and I guess coin wants 70. If it gets there, we'll look for that short up top. This is going to mean Intel's going to stop me out. I did get half of this trade out when it got to 90. It's right back up 34. I don't feel compelled to reload this trade again, so I'm not going to. I'll hold on to the hat that I have. If we break the high, then we'll take the L on that, probably forcing the action here to just keep going to this level over and over when the market keeps wanting to go higher.
Yeah, for sure. I just want to say something here for Derek. I think this is a very, very good point here, talking about basically what we've just been talking about here. Derek, yes, it doesn't matter what one thinks the market should do. What matters is what the market is actually doing. Ride the wave, don't fight the current. I'm going to steal that, Derek, okay? I feel like I should tweet that out because that is something that's pretty important to understand that that's what you need to do right now. So today, the wave, I mean, you want to talk about waves. I mean, you're just waving up here all the time. It's getting a wave. Here's a right back up like we just took down the 50 period again. And we got something out on Google down there at 85 again, which is pretty good. But still, will we break it? Who knows? But this is the thing. If you're going to go short right now, I don't think it's a great idea. Although I'm short now, I'm just talking to you that I don't think it's a great idea, which is why I'm trying to get out a little bit here. Why not just wait for it to actually break 15.1 and then you can start to build it to the downside? Because when you start thinking you're smarter than the market and you're going to catch the top, oh, that's the top, well then what happens is when it takes it out, you're just going to get stopped out, and then, so you're getting short in here, stopping out here. Well, if you do that all the way, then that's a problem. But if you just keep playing these dips, like if you play that dip, you're not worried about this 15.1 because that's your target for an out, right? And it's just like, this is the first time here that we maybe have a legitimate area that we could start to pull back from. The next legitimate area is right here at 15.140, which is no surprise. That's basically the high of the day. So, I mean, we've talked about that. We looked at where the NASDAQ's been, and I just really like that, Derek.
Crap.
So I think I'm going to use that on Twitter just to tell people that that's what's good. Because right here, here's 15.150. Basically, you should be like, hey, take that out, or just wait. Once you're in this sort of no man's land here, wait for it to either come back up or, I don't know, break the top. So, not great advice here to continuously short the market here today. And that's sort of what we've got ourselves caught into right now with Apple especially. We were long. We just reversed it up here at 188 thinking that it wasn't going to break 188. I mean, we haven't done much damage since it's been up here. Google. Apple's been kind of back and forth. Like, this doesn't really give you too much of a trade. But again, I go short here at 188 thinking that we're going to break. We're down below the 200. Sorry, that's the 50. We're below the 21 and the 50. So let's go. That must have been when we broke as well here. So now it's like, now I'm just fighting, basically waiting for 188.30 to break so I can get stopped out. Not good, not good. So not super happy being stuck in some of these positions, but at least we have our outs, and at least at some point this day will end, and then we can regroup tomorrow. But it's funny because we spun those slots earlier and we lost on them, and then someone said, "Uh-oh, that's that's a
I think I lost
harbinger."
Too.
Yeah, exactly for bad news. But I don't know.
I haven't won the slots.
Nvidia is still 416. Oh man, we have look what we had long today.
Austin.
All longs in here, yeah. Yeah, Austin would have been $100 lower than this, but still.
Oh yeah, never mind.
Yeah, it's Austin 360.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Mr. Middle Name
Bible.
You don't even. Come on, man.
But I got kicked out of it.
Anyways, yeah, I used to go to Sunday school and then I didn't. So there, 119. right there. 119 flat. So we'll wait to see here for Google.
Ponzi, which one?
What does he want?
Ponzi says close the position, bro. Which position?
Probably the shorts, because probably what I'm talking about. All these shorts.
But
you're right. It's just I just wonder now that I don't wonder anything. I mean, the net is fine. It's just I wonder about if we do crack where we are right now. We just talked about the NASDAQ. I mean, am I going to pretend like I can ping this to the exact dollar? Like 115, 150, where we were?
We're
I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe the highs maybe the highs in. Oh. But this would be the right time to short it if you thought short.
Because the NASDAQ's at resistance.
It's finally there. That's what I was trying to get at.
I got to point this out because when I was making the comment that Nikola was in quote unquote easy trade, just to give an idea of what it's not every stock that's at $1 is going to give you the same look. Because someone just said, look at SOFO. This is the same trade. Right. It's at $1. So just come to this is a chart of SOFO. I don't even know what this company is, quite frankly. Whatever they are. This is $1. It's held for several days. You can pull up the daily. Look at that. Look at it hold $1. Maybe there's a swing trade in here. Look at the support at $1. Here's what the level 2 looks like on SOFO. That's the level 2 of SOFO, and the level 2 of Nikola.
Is that like the bad brother?
Looks like this. So if you're a trader, like you tell me, like I said, maybe there's a swing trade where you can be long this SOFO stock. And you can get in, whatever you want, and hold it for a week and have a stop at 95 instead of 99. On Nikola, this is the liquidity at 105. It's 10 times the liquidity when it's at $1 doing this, and that's the difference. You can have a day trader can have whatever leverage they want, and you're not. It doesn't. No matter how big a day trader you are, you're not missing getting out at $1. You're not missing getting out at 99.5 cents. There's liquidity abound for something like a Nikola, and that's what makes it a different trade. SOFO way too thin, and it's a distinction that's a very big distinction when you're trading. You can have the greatest setup in the world when you look at a chart, but you actually have to execute it in the real market, and that means not everything is going to be scalable or executable to your risk plan when you look at on a chart. And liquidity matters, volume matters, it's huge. It's a really big deal as far as I'm concerned. Someone just said AMD high of the day from Test 02. Somehow
I got long. I got out of that one.
You were long, right? Mm-hmm. It's still it's wicking this top. It just wicked the high of the day. This is the tricky thing about longs that aren't into the dip. That's 110. At least if you're taking a 110 long, you can play it off like the higher, like the lower. I mean, the higher low, I suppose it would be at 109.85 or something like this, and you're long the dip into the high of the day. That way, if it's rejected, you can be taking profit instead of getting blown out. I just want Intel to break 34. If this market takes out the top, Intel's at a double top right now with room above. So double top, room at least at 34.40, but you're running out of time for this breakout to happen. There's not much to do. I'm short 99. There's no point in me getting out of a 99 short if 34 doesn't break. But if 34 can go, this does look like some upward momentum, and you guys are right about riding the wave. Like I'm not gonna sit here and argue it. I could have been buying dips like this morning in Intel instead of shorting a high of the day. But until we break 34, there's nothing else to be done with this. Coin is freaking nonsensical. How much is Kathy buying right now? It did get to 70, and you probably heard me say I want a false break of 70. Well, if you're too patient, that's what ends up happening to you. But that's fine. I would rather miss out on a short trade than get it run over 10 times out of 10. And this never really broke 70 even for that setup. When we had the short off of 60, 66, it was a little bit easier to get in. This, you're short probably 69.50 with your out close to 70. That's not the best R&R in my mind. Probably it's not that bad, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking to be able to get something tighter to that 70 level and risk less. So I don't have it, but I don't mind missing out on something. You can certainly look for a retracement back up to 69.5 for the short. It looks like it has done at least a little bit of a reversal on this name. But Intel 34 looks pretty juicy.
Okay. Yeah, Google just went down again to 80s again, but that's still not a good fill. But like it just went down there and didn't break, and the same thing just happened again with the NASDAQ. So yeah, I see what you're saying, Ponzi Fonzie. If you're talking about just getting out and just regrouping, that's probably a good possibility at some point here. Well, my stops are just a little bit higher than where they are now. I mean, we're at the day's high everywhere right now. It's 314. We'll wait. Hopefully by 3:30 we can see what the imbalance locator is. The wife must be watching because she said she wants to try a drink with this. I don't know what this is. This is French. I Googled it out. It's like a sweet white wine or something like that. I don't know. Anyone heard of
Sounds
Lulette?
good to me.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
I don't know it either.
Right there. Yeah, I don't know what that is either, but there it is right there. So anyway.
How strong is that?
She said, I don't know.
Well, it's going to say on the bottom.
I know. Let me see. How strong is this?
Just my curiosity over booze here. That's all.
Let's see if I zoom. How do I just zoom in there? Oh, there it is. Oh, I can't. I don't know. I don't know what that says. 17? I don't know.
17 proof? So that's like
it seems like 17 maybe.
Okay.
That's what I think. It's like maybe like an ice wine.
Looks tasty.
I don't know what that is.
16%.
That's not tequila, is it?
Oscar says that it's 16%.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there goes Intel.
Yeah, Apple
I
just
know
went
what I
up
should have done.
too.
There we go. So 34 just broken Intel. I was just looking at Mara because Coinbase was going. Obviously, I wanted to check out what was going with Bitcoin. Bitcoin did not take 31 yet, so that's not that interesting. Oh, really, Intel? If this is what, so if I get stopped out of the 34 short, decide to reverse into the long and start going long up at the top, and then this is the wick high, and the short really starts working here, that would be absolutely comical, but I guess that's the case. So I don't want to get trapped at the high. I'm going to put a stop underneath the local high here at 95. If we hold 95, reclaim 34, I don't want to add unless it's adding on strength. So to get more into this position, I need to see it holding above 34 and then opening up the trend again, because the top end break's different from a dip buy. It's trying to get through the top. Let's see it hold through the top, which I think it's trying to do now, and try to add above 34 here on the way to hopefully 34.40. So Intel, he said ride the wave. Well, we're trying to do it here, double checking what's going on with Micron. That's still strong, still up and to the right. NVIDIA, which doesn't always follow with the rest of the chip group, doing its own thing. It's up at the high of the day without a break just yet. Remember 420 on NVIDIA. I reserve the right to ignore everything we just said about trend if NVIDIA gets to 420. That's just, it's a different level. It's $2 away from here with 45 minutes to go. Not a guarantee that it even happens.
Yeah, just an update. That's soju. I know. I hear Rob in the back. That wasn't bad. It was a little too sweet. You remember that? I had that.
Oh yeah, that was
Korean.
Yeah, I remember that.
Trust me, it was very cold. It was
looked
very,
good.
very cold.
It looked
No, it's fine. It's just too sweet. Like it's just it's sweet. That's all. I think it does what it's supposed to do, but it's
Can you mix it with something?
For me,
maybe?
too sweet. No, I just had it straight,
Yeah.
straight with water. I don't know, or straight with ice. I don't know what to do. This is someone said this is. I was drinking some of these on the weekend because I was at the Diamond for 8 hours on Saturday, but these are like they're like 0 calories. They're just vodka. And
Where'd the bull go?
the bull's over there. Seltzer-like stuff. There it is.
That's what they sell at the Jays games.
Yeah, Neutral. Yeah. It's Canadian. So, anyways,
It's not bad. It's refreshing. That's a like patio drink.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I know what it is. Yeah. There's also tequila seltzers, which I like as well. Nice move down here for Google. It just stopped, of course, at 75. So, okay. Hopefully we're right here. If the market does fade out, we can have a big winner here. I'm holding this one. You guys can follow me, trace me, whatever you want on this one because I'm going to hold this. I still feel like a retracement down. I don't know. Like I really think 118. I mean, for sure 118.50. But let's just wait for even a bigger push to the downside here for Google. What's up, Brendo?
Regeneron open again, guys. Worth a note, down huge, 8%, right back to last month's lows, essentially, for REGN.
It's going to be wild. This is not very tradable. Typically, it's already going to have a big enough
Down
spread.
8%.
But yeah, down 8%. If you are following along, 700 big level there. If you break 700, 660 to the downside, but it's $20 away, and it's already bounced off 705 once. So not necessarily the best look for them, but quite frankly, you know what? If you're along this stock at any point from last year, I guess it's not really the end of the world. It's been super strong, and a super strong name with a head and shoulders already at 800. Now that I just look at it, but yeah, I don't think this is a trade for us. At least not for me. I wouldn't touch that one with a 10-foot pole, especially this late in the day. Intel, come on, at least get to 10s. I want 10s, 15s, 20, 25. You know how that works. But this is a slow grind to the upside after breaking out. Should have maybe stayed long, but the short worked, so I'm not going to complain about it too much there. Palantir's not doing anything. There's nothing to talk about there. SoFi, Elon 2024, that's turning around. Did that get to 875? Yes, it did. But yeah, not really moving too much either. You had to have it off the top. I'm looking for something that's still setting up for a short. With Intel through the high of the day, I'm not really seeing it there. Micron wasn't much of a setup for me. What do we think Carvana will do tomorrow, Andrew Gobrail says? With any luck, and I'm saying this because I know this is what Max wants. Max wants 27, and I'm kind of with him on that one.
And what Max wants?
Max hopefully gets. Well, we can't make Carvana go up. But if this gets through 27 on the daily, it can even pull a 15
Max can make it go.
Maybe he can get it going.
Oh, man,
but if this breaks back above 27, that's the shot. Like that's where you want this really going. Dip buys, fair enough. Great run today off the lows. But when you get into new territory on a squeeze, that's when, because that's where shorts are covering. Like, is a short concern that it's bouncing off 21 if they put a new short on at 27? Maybe a little bit. But the old shorts or the new ones in here, you break out that top and it's a totally different story. If the day trader, you want that explosive, we're going up and we're halting up. You want that kind of momentum in Carvana. So good day for it today. I don't know that that's what's going to happen. I'm talking about what I want to happen. It's going to reject 25, it looks like here, but it's well above VWAP, possibly closing at the highs. If it can sustain the gap, anything's possible. I'm not even sure there's a catalyst with this, quite frankly. You know what I think I think the reason, if I had to guess as to the reason why it's going up, because a company that declared Chapter 11 squoze and went ham this morning in Ride, and that's why Carvana's up today. That would be my guess, and the only reason why I think it's the case. And we reverse into Intel. It does get to 34.10, so we'll ring the register there. Finally go into the long, again, on this name, and let's see how far it can go. Coin, yeah, the second I get a fill, it's going to start to pull back. Coin's still going down. Man, it sucks not being short this. Ah, well.
Oh, man. Ah, well, meanwhile, at least, at least Roblox right here continues to go up, man. And I mean, this is, again, we talked about it earlier. We do, good trade. This is $1. Joining the dollar club right now is Roblox right there. I just need Google to join it somehow. I don't know if it's going to go down $1 or not. 20 cents in the money on Google. It's right here, man. Like, we're going to wait till 42 breaks back downside, then we'll get out. But for now, it's a good one here on Roblox. Nice upside momentum in this name from today. A big shout out to Crypto Gangster. You gave that to me the first place. We just did this. We reloaded it a bunch of times. Where's the upside on this? 42.50, that's a good level. We can get up here 42.80. We will get the heck out of Dodge on this one. Good trade so far. Dropped out. If it comes through 42, we're going to get out of Roblox. But so far, so good on that one. And there is, just in case you're wondering what the hell I hit those reloads for, there's that first trade. Was on my radar. There it is again. Boom. Nice upside move there for Roblox. Let's just continue to watch it, man. At least I get free Roblox for a month or whatever now because of this move. But hey, we want a little bit more than that. So let's see where we go here on this trade. So Roblox, yep, I like it. Let's see where it goes. We have that drop-off spot. All right, I said we wouldn't take too much out here on Google, but again, it's just, like now that I just look at this, and we're going to take out one more piece. We'll take out 10% more here at losing my voice, at 118.70. So hopefully that can come through. And then we're going to have to wait, like I said, for 118.50. There's the 200 period is sneaking in right there. You could probably see it. That's 118.50 or so, yeah. So that's ultimately, if we can cover there, I think that's maybe the best we could do today. So we're going to wait for 118.50. I'll put a bunch of shares there to cover. Hopefully we're able to do that. We made a little bit, not a little bit, we made a decent amount of money back on that. There it is. Yes, sir. So that's a nice win for us. Good thing we got stopped out at Apple because that's continuing to, not good thing. We got stopped out right where it is, but it allowed us sort of to, watch out for this as well. So here comes Google. Nice move to the downside. So now we're at least in the money, 25 cents. Making back, like it was pretty disastrous when Google and Apple were both up at the day's high. At least Google's faded out a little bit. The name against the market, that's all. 0.3, 1.78. And today, we talked about our watch list. Make sure you grab the watch list because today we were all over that right now with Google on a downgrade. So that's what that is, the watch list. Oh, now that I have that up, we forgot to do something, and that was, of course, what's for lunch here at Day Trade the World and or
it was really
Trader TV Live. It was really, really good. This is always good when it's this day. If you said chicken, guess what? You're a chicken dinner winner because it's chicken again. But
yeah, big butt.
But a big butt. I like big grilled chicken, jerk chicken breast. Grilled jerk chicken breast today, and it was nice. It was
I stole something.
Nice and moist. I put it on top of my salad as well. It was great with rice. Well, they say rice and beans, but rice and peas, we'll call it what it is.
It is a bean, but it's rice and peas.
Yeah, rice and peas. So that was really good. That was really tasty. So shout out to the catering company today, although they were an hour late. We love that food.
They get a pass when the food's good.
2 days. So thank you so much for that. And then I had a kerfuffle because I actually ate Stephanie's salad because I just saw the S and I was like, that's mine.
But aren't they the same?
They're exactly the same. So I told her that mine, because afterwards I went back there was still a salad. What's up, Parsa? After I went back, there was still a salad there, and I saw it had my name on it. I was like, oops. So I told her.
Did she call you out?
Who?
Stephanie.
No, she said she didn't want it anyways.
Oh, okay. I thought like.
But I told her, this was like about 1:30.
Oh, okay.
And she doesn't normally eat till the afternoon. So I was like, okay.
Hard at work.
My bad. And she was like, no doubt. So.
There was a question.
Lobster tomorrow, yeah.
Lobster?
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab some in Lake Ontario, grab some fresh lobster.
East Coast, baby.
Oh man.
I can't. Oh my goodness. I usually get sent stuff from my brother. End of the year, he always sends me.
We're still waiting for the maple syrup. When are the maple syrup runs? End of summer.
So
I tapped maple syrup before.
We got, and when we did the maple syrup at my in-laws, it was the lowest yield they've had in a while. It was not a good year for maple syrup. It was up and down. We get warm, then it would get cold again. So I'm not even sure how much they have. I haven't gotten any. The second I get my reload.
Yeah, the wife is on watch for
that. We'll definitely bring some in for you guys.
And then Sharif, he keeps making those protein bars. So we got.
Well, if you make them with syrup, it's actually delicious.
That's what I'm saying. So we gotta.
So Steve G, I know you're asking consistently about Neo resisting a double top. I don't mind the notion of, okay, double top, go short. Oddly enough, I know I had the 9 break. Don't anchor to even dollars all the time. If you have a level that you like better, and this was a level that I was working off 885 for a while on the stock, and then today it ended up being absolutely perfect. I don't know why I ignored it. I took the 9 break. I took the reload at 9. That was not the trade. It should have been off of this support level that I had drawn. But double top on a Chinese ADR, these don't move that much in the afternoon. So yeah, maybe a good level, but does it have enough juice to actually fall and give you a trade, give you a move?
Died, I think.
Like, that's the thing. I want to see a stock that has a chance to go. Intel just got to 15, so we'll go, I don't know, let's not look a gift horse in the mouth. I'll think about that one. And we'll power it up because now for the 3rd time in 2 weeks, I've seen the Super Mario movie because my daughter freaking loves it. So I'll be watching that. I'll probably watch it at least once a week for the next few months.
We saw that in 3D and D-Box.
Yeah, that's...
You know...
I was actually genuinely... I was pleased with it.
Of course,
people told me it was going to be good, but I was skeptical because they don't always do these video game movies very well. Right. And this one was, I say, it was fantastic.
Yeah,
if you got kids, they'll love it. Every kid I know absolutely loves it. And it's good enough for the parents, right? There's enough humor in there that'll win
to Jack
for the parents.
Black.
Jack Black was perfect for Bowser.
Yeah, that song is hilarious. So
you can't stand Jack Black. Oh my
goodness. Peaches, 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 peaches.
Tenacious D. My brother is big into Tenacious D, so I had to listen to them. I think they're pretty funny, but I suppose Jack Black. Some people love him, some people don't.
I mean, he's not. Come on. I mean,
I thought it was good casting.
He's just a comedian.
Yeah, he's just
let's take it easy on Jack Black here.
He was in Tropic Thunder. Anyone that was in that movie.
I still like Zach Galifianakis in Between Two Ferns. Between Two Ferns. That stuff's hilarious. I always think that they're very similar. Those
freaking
guys.
Love that one. No, Zach Galifianakis is much funnier than Jack Black.
Oh, well, yeah, but Jack Black, was he ever a stand-up comedian? He must have been at some point. I mean, I guess that's where he got his start.
I don't know. I don't know if he did stand-up.
I don't know either. So that's
usually
he did like the School of Rock and all that kind of.
Did he do? I don't think he did stand-up.
That's what I was wondering. But probably Zach Galifianakis, I'm sure has. I'm sure that's where he got his start. I mean, that guy. That guy's hilarious. Roblox still continuing to work to the upside right now, so that's going to be real nice for us. Yeah, right, just an actor.
Yeah, he's
exactly.
not a
Yeah.
And he does some music every now and then, that's it.
Yeah, The Hangover for Zach Galifianakis. I mean, that's hilarious. I mean, whatever. Between Two Ferns is great. So
with Bradley Cooper, I don't know. Those two, put them in the room together.
Yeah, and the other guy too, the guy that lost his tooth. That guy's funny in that show. Ed Helms.
Ed Helms. That's the guy. Boom.
All right. Now on to that's just a little bit of entertainment, right there.
Market be running.
Yeah, markets, there it is, taking out the highs as we speak right now. So there it is right now, getting up to that 5150. So if you are excited for something, 15150. You know, we don't check out enough is obviously the ES as well. I don't even look at it. 44, like there it is right there, taking out the high as well. The ES just continuing to march higher here. But, you know, if you're watching Apple and Google and all that, they have such a huge weighting now, even in the S&P 500 that, you know, that's what's good there. So just be careful with trading some of these names against the ES because it's the same thing basically now. The NASDAQ and ES aren't the same thing, but you get what I'm getting at. Amazon, so people are saying, what is there a trade that maybe we could get short that we haven't talked about yet?
Tesla?
Tesla's a good one. Tesla, man,
250 is
I'm down slightly on Tesla today, which is fine. I was wondering about 130 here on Amazon. I mean, I think it was still a ways away, but that's a level there that I think you can get away with as well. That high of the day, 130.08. So if you can sort of stomach about 30 cents, and it does get back into this 129.80 level, especially on a bump up, this name, although strong, I'm just talking about it because it's at least faded away from its high. You know, names like, I mean, I can't sit here and recommend Apple. That's at its high right now. We can't recommend AMD, which is an absolute monster right now. Like, despite me getting out right there when I was pretending that those were the highs, yeah, now we're way up on this. It's a good thing we still have Roblox as well, but yeah, so for now, that's about the only thing that's working out here is Roblox and Google, but that's another trade to possibly look at there. We haven't looked at oil. I mean, you looked at Oxy earlier, but this name is at its high.
Just to look at it.
Yeah, just here's one. If you like the oil patch, but if you like an oil name, not that XOM's oil patch name, but XOM is again right here as well. You know, a nice level. You're only up 0.1, so you're not fighting the same beasts here as the market. You're fighting a closed market right now, which is oil, and we can look at that in a minute too. But 104, 104.50. XOM's high of the day is 104.60. This is not a horrible short either right now. So this could be played. Oil, of course, closed, and that is, if I go in here, it's oil is CL, right? Is that what ours is?
And it autofills it. You no longer have to remember the contract.
But see, I don't see it here.
Oh, I mean, you might have to put the slash.
CL slash? Is it the other slash? Is it the other slash? Yeah, there it is. Chicago, no, that's 6C. No, this is not the right one.
Boo.
I'll find it at some point.
So just a quick note here, because I'm going to go to Palantir in a quick second and show you guys the difference. So Palantir, it was long from earlier, but see how it's not breaking the highs when the market was just breaking out. Now I think I want to cover this in front of the high, or at least not let it get past 1465. So I'm simply going to move a trailing stop underneath 1465 here. The difference, look at Palantir, look at something which just broke the high of the day and is continuing up. Like, that's a stark difference as the NASDAQ goes higher. I want to hold on to the last piece of intel for, I think it's, well, I'll show you guys a level. It's either 34.40 or it's 350, the imbalances when they come out, or break even. I want to give it a chance to break this level on the imbalances. As I said, I probably should have just been only short, only long the entire day, but we finally flipped into the long.
Here we go.
I still have a piece of nickel. As a matter of fact, I just got filled. It just spiked up to 9. I don't know, kind of random here. Made a move into 9. I got some 8s. I'm on the offer of 9. I don't know why I didn't get filled. Give me BYX, stat 101. I'm all out of this pretty much. I'm down to like 5% of the position. If it makes a break of 10, I'll just be out. Maybe we get the $1 trade tomorrow, but the longs have come in today. If I look at where the money's been made, only one stock that I was short as my only position did I make money on, and it's this. I had one line, I took one position on Tesla short, and then I'm up on Tesla. Every other stock that I was short today is an L, and every stock that I was long today is a positive. It's one of those types of days.
Yeah, we just, and that's what I'm trying to do right now, literally as we speak. We just, again, Google just came all the way up. I don't know why. I had a 118.94 there. I don't know why we didn't get filled there. I don't know, maybe just wicked up there real quick, but we didn't get it. But then as it comes right back in, let's just get out. So it just ripped up. I thought we got short there again, but we didn't. So now that it's fading back down, fine. Let's just let it now come back in here. We don't have, we don't have any more bids. I have it still. 118.94. So I don't know, maybe it didn't get there, but that's that trade. So that's what we're trying to do right now is watch out for this. Maybe there's the pullback down. We just touched that level. Like that's where we should have been short, right? We talked about that 15.140. That's exactly what it just hit. But again, you sort of, I use the word like data mining and stuff. It's like when you're going to look at this and then say, oh, well, that's what we should have waited for. But the thing is that we did talk about it, right? But the thing about it is it's really 150 something. So 153, 155. So realistically, it could have gone even a little bit more and it still could. So I don't know if that is the exact level, and I'm not trying to call exact levels, but again, hopefully this is the pullback in that we are looking for in this name. And then just to talk about it, we do end our trade.
Awesome.
There on Roblox. So this is what that Roblox trade looks like. Bought it down here off VWAP, and the rest is history. Nice move. We could have got it out at 42.15, which was the high, but we waited for the break of 42, and there it is, got out. I actually didn't realize the teal had changed so much because we could have saved ourselves about 10 cents and got it out right there, but that's a good trade there for Roblox. Finishing that one off. So hopefully, finish him. We've been finished today, but hopefully we can get a little bit of money back on this move down.
I got to get something in the chat for a second.
Do it.
Because I want to thank you for the words of Mashworth. I'm going to answer your question. He says, where can I go, brackets trading floor, to get the skill you, Neil, and Sean have? I don't know who you is. It's probably talking to someone else in the chat, or just maybe Brendan. First off, time in front of the screen. Level 2, watching charts, watching level 2, reading tape over years, and you're already in the right space. That's what we're kind of doing, and there is no easy answer to it. Like you, as a day trader, it's learning from your mistakes, it's making mistakes so that you can learn from them over and over and over again. The literal answer, of course, is we are located in Toronto. We've had people visit the floor all the time. We've had people that visit the floor or watch the show that end up as traders on the floor here. It's happened. Ian was an example of that. I mean, Sharif was a viewer of the show.
Sharif is a current example.
He's a current example of that. I mean, he's on the show right now. Parsa as well. He must have got up from his seat, but Parsa was a viewer, came by, visited the floor. We had a chat with him, says I would like to trade here. He got himself hired. Obviously, you still have to apply. But yeah, you just have to put the effort in as a day trader because you have to watch the market. You have to love the market. And you got to be willing to take your lumps and learn from your mistakes. If you're not ready to lose and then learn from it, then this is not the game for you. I just moved my stop on Unity, so I think this is probably going to come out. The NASDAQ wanted 2%. It just got, this is as close as it got to the high. Now this is a real pullback, right? So this is a pretty decent dip back in. This could be the end of the road. As I said, I have a trail there. Intel, I was holding on for that last piece for the top or 350. Looks like that 34 quarter is all she wrote. It was a good trade, short off 34. It gave you a bigger move off the long, but it is pulling in. I still hold 20% of it. If it can hold a higher low, let's see what it can do. It's 337. There's still time for it to make a bit of a move to the upside. When you were saying, is there a short we could still have? I only said Tesla because of 250. It's not even at 250. I didn't mean short Tesla here. That's not at all what I was getting at. If you heard that out of the corner of my mouth, as Sean was talking about what can you short, I just meant if it got back up to 250, that was a good short and a good level. Doesn't seem like it wants to get there a second time. Lower high being put in on Tesla. I just want to see if Intel can hold up that 34 level. And then, of course, trail out there on Unity and Palantir. As for jumping into the shorts, maybe I want confirmation under 15.1. I just feel that's the way to go. I have not really had a lot of, with the exception of Tesla and Intel late, haven't had success shorting today. So I want confirmation that we're getting underneath 15.1 and not just bouncing and then making a fresh high at 350.
Yep, that's the confirmation. The imbalance locator, though, is out. And, well, it's not out, but the pre-look is out. It's 350 to buy, 335 to buy, million. So not anything to ignore,
write
but
home about.
Nothing to write home about. Yes, that's correct. All right, we got a 70 fill on Google. Other than that, man, we're getting lighter and lighter now with only 20 minutes left. I don't, with this kind of a market move right now, I could expect these imbalances to continue to sort of grow a little bit here, and it would not surprise me if we do wind up sort of taking a move higher here once those imbalances do come out in 12 minutes. So that's what we're talking about. It's these right here, the market on close imbalances. These will all fill up at 350. Whatever's on here now has nothing to do with anything other than what's active right now. So we'll wait for that, but at 350 it will populate with new data for the market on closed trades, which is all that anybody right now should care about, because the market, quite frankly, is about to close. So hopefully that will affect these markets, and our stock will come into play, and we'll be able to make a little bit of money on that. But here we go. I'm just going to probably sit in here and watch Google unless something else really does move. We did get stopped out of Oracle, although Oracle is now back in. So if you had that short, and again, just how much patience do you have? My problem, again, we talked about this, was starting everything way too early. And it's just, you know, we can't predict those highs right there, but I had got stopped out, didn't want to hold anything, chose to hold Google. Looks like Oracle would have been a good hold as well. So if anybody's in that, I still think there's some downside moves there. And then Apple, of course, trying to fade off 188. We already took that one out, but that could be a good trade as well. Upside for Apple. I'm really happy with this one. Where did we say we'd be happy with? 118.50? It's 50 cents. It's good. That's what we're trying to take right now. We're 30 cents in the money. I do have another bid at 60 here. And if we can come back into 50, then that should technically complete the trade. So if that happens, good for us. And let's see if we can get some fills here on Google. You know what? I'm just going to take a 66 if we can get it. There it goes. There we go. We got it. Or 67 there. Let's see what happens now moving forward with Google. But there's the out. For now, we'll take a 60, and then if we have to get out of everything, we will. But I'm waiting for that 118.50. Hopefully that comes through. We could take some out before that imbalance hits, which is now. I got to have some tea as well. Tonight is the last. So tonight, finally, with my voice, the last hockey game for my son for the summer.
Damn.
And then we start up again in early July with another, but that's on Sunday.
You know what they say about hockey, though? There is no off season.
That's right.
Because if you're always training. That's the idea.
For any.
You're blading or cycling.
The problem is they don't play house league anymore. That's the problem. They're playing higher levels. Yeah. So once you do that, you have a huge commitment.
Yeah, exactly. So like I said, there's no off season when you're at that level. I remember like when you play baseball, once you play for the city, like if you're not going to the indoor facilities, doing BP, like that's just what it's all about, which is nothing wrong with that.
No, you just got to love it, and it's just a hell of a lot of commitment.
For the parents, it's a lot of commitment. I chuckle because my daughter is not in any of that stuff just yet, so I can chuckle about it. Now, I'm on the offer to get all out of Nikola at 110. I did get the 9 fill eventually. I look back at this, and just to point out that there's an obvious glaring mistake in this trade, and that is I was taking fills for the spread at 02. On the 101 level. And it's not to say that's bad because, okay, fine, like you still make money, you make the spread, but that's not really the idea behind the trade. Like you really don't want to be taking offers there. It's almost a bit of a waste. Like you want to be getting the fills that gets 4, 5, 6, 7, that kind of a thing. So yes, it was good, but I gotta point out that that's kind of pointless to be taking anything out at the even, unless you know you can get right back in, which was not the case. I don't think we're gonna get too much change on that imbalance. Early look of 335 is no change. So I'm giving Intel a chance here. It's putting in a higher low. I don't see a reason to add to the position nor take it out. As I said, we've already scalped the reverse into 34. It either gets back into the high and breaks it, or for now it's a break-even stop underneath 34. We can definitely move it. Jason Delta did get to that resistance on the daily. This is probably not the time of day to be looking for the short. If this is earlier in the session and we're at this level, it's going to zoom out here for, there you go, there's Delta. I'd probably be looking for the short right now. You know, it's above that 46. This would be where you're looking for a retracement play. It's breaking through 46 even. Let's see it fail that break and then come back in. Not at 342. That's out the window as far as I'm concerned. But strong day for Delta. Let's see how it responds to this level tomorrow. I feel that's going to be the case for a lot of these names. Like NIO is a great example. This could be on a collision course with $10. If you're not paying attention to NIO when it gets to $10, then you don't like day trading. As far as I'm concerned, it's back above $9. Next stop, 10 is big. It has broken before, but never really gotten to $11. So I do think it's going to be a big level when it gets there. Will it catch an upgrade tomorrow, Mr. Duckett says of Delta? I don't know, probably. Right at resistance as it's breaking out after they did the early the early release on some of their numbers 2 weeks ahead of earnings, yeah, there'll be some upgrades, and then earnings will probably disappoint, and then it'll come back to the downside. So, I don't know. That's being way too cynical, I guess.
Oh, that's probably right. Okay, so just quickly here, I mean, thank God for this one. Honestly, like Google just pulling back now. There's this is, I mean, I don't know. You guys tell me. This is the trade. This is really the only trade that we put on all afternoon. We got out of our Roblox, which I guess was bad. It's back up here. We got out at 42. It's a 42.05, so that could have been a trade. We did get stopped out on our Oracle as well, which is now in the money, but we lost about 20 cents on that. So it's nice to have a 50-cent winner rate here, finally coming through for us on Google, and it just cracked through 50. So we got some outs there at 50. That's the 200 period. If it does happen to sort of, I don't want to say tank, because it's kind of doing that right now. If it does happen to continue to make this move, that's good. And hopefully we'll be able to get this even down further than we thought. We have about a third left of this trade, so we're still in it. We're still doing okay on it, but only a third left right now on this Google trade. So we'll pay attention to it. Hopefully, okay. Now it's really getting good down here into 39. So let's just get, if we can get a 40 bid, let's do that. Now we'll get a 41 bid actually. See if, there we go. Oh, we got both. So we got 49 and 39, or sorry, 41 and 39 there. As here it is, nice move. But as I was saying, we have one stomp out there, but that's okay. Look at the, well, it's not okay, but look at the move coming down now. So there it is. Google held half of that move back for this trade. So there it is. Nice downside move happening for Google into the 30s, guys. So that's a good one, man. I'm pretty happy with the performance of this trade. Right now, it's Google. It's tanking. It's doing exactly what we thought it would. I mean, I didn't think it would go this low, but so far so good on the move down. Put a bid at 30. See if we can get that. We only now have, Neil, 4.5 minutes until the imbalances. So this move is probably good enough for me right now, as now we only have, well, we have 20% left. I was gonna say 10% left of our initial spot, which we got stopped out on, but 10% left, 20% left of the full position. So
yeah, I'm just getting out of positions. Palantir does not want that 1475 low, at least not today. It doesn't want it. So another lower high gets made. Once it rejects, I'm just out. We'll get out of that. I don't see an opportunity to get into a short or anything like that. Just doesn't feel like it's going to be right. Nikola, as I said, got that 109 and 110. Those fills. Tesla's at 250.
Yep.
It's on the wrong, we're on the wrong side of 350. If we were right at the imbalances, that would be an easier trade, but there's still 4 minutes to go. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to force the action. If it works, it works. Good for you if you take it. I'm going to hold on to Intel, give this one a chance. If Intel has a buy imbalance, great. I'll probably get taken out on that. If it sell, 34 is my break-even stop. I just feel as if. Oh, and by the way, just keep in mind, Intel on the higher time frame chart, this is now kind of breaking back up to what is a huge level at 37, but also 35. So there's some big levels on the way back to the upside now that you bounced off 32 and 33 consecutively. I do like this above 34 to extend, but 35 big level, 37 obviously monstrous. So I'm leaning toward long to continue the trend in Intel. Just know that you have two big levels coming up tomorrow. As I said, I'm not going to take this Tesla trade. If you're in it, you've probably just gotten filled and taken 90s. You have 3 minutes when the imbalances came out. Yesterday, there was a big imbalance on Tesla. It was 700,000 shares to buy, I want to say.
Yes, they were all huge, if you remember yesterday.
Which for Tesla, it doesn't usually do that. It didn't make too big of a move, ended up coming into the downside and falling. But I don't want there to be an imbalance and you're catching against the grain and just getting instantly stopped out. So I'm not going to put this trade on. 250 the first time was great. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing.
What's that?
Take this opportunity to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You won't be disappointed. There's lots of bang.
Oh, come on. Boo.
All right, I won't do it again. You can play it again if you want. I won't do it.
No, everyone likes it. It's the end.
I promise. I won't hit the
We play it for the end. Okay, fine, I'm going to hit it again.
Take this opportunity to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You won't be disappointed. There's lots of bangs.
The problem.
Actually, what do you guys think? The full beard or the, what do they call the half beard is the name for that? Like the evening shadow, is that what it is?
I don't know.
I kind of like the more full beard.
The Sunday.
Probably just because I can't grow one, but.
Yeah, probably.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for that. But I mean, regardless, guys, I mean, hit the like button anyways.
Hola. Like and subscribe today.
Like and subscribe today.
You can be the 635th like.
That's it, eh?
Almost 4K watching.
Well, it's too bad that cat's not going to ring the bell again, but oh well. All right, so yeah, you got to get at least that, and then if you want Neil to rap, you got to get 1,500, and that's only on Fridays. For that, that's been about like 6 months, I feel like, since the last time that went down. So let's see if we can get that going again, guys, at some point. But right now, okay, Google still making that move down. That's all that I have. Hola, says Aspect. Let's do a big shout out to some people here that we know that have been here for a while now. What's up to... I don't know you, Professor Love, but shout out to you. What's up to Ponzi Fonzie? Darwin, I know for sure, has been here for a long time. What's up to John Riz? Is going to need 2 registers tomorrow. Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope I need a bank tomorrow, someone to take me out of here. Elon, what's up? You've been here for a while as well. What's up to Streamlabs? What's up to Bears vs. Bulls? K&D Flips, recognize you. What's up to Chimps? You've been here for a bit as well. Shout out to everybody as well. Redman, we talked about you the other day. So shout out to Meth and Red right there. So glad to have Redman here as well. What's up, D-Loaf? You got it. What's up, Zion? A whole bunch of people that we recognize right now. So shout out to Trader TV Live family, man. You guys are everything to us. So without that, we'd have nothing. And without the imbalances, we also have nothing. So let's wait to see here. We're going to get rid of ARCA. And in lovely downtown Toronto, I don't know what the weather's like. It was getting pretty nasty and rainy when I was last out there, but I feel like it's better now. I don't know. We'll see. All right, here we go. I haven't been outside. 2 and 1, and is now 350. Oh, yes, sir. Google must be that sell. It was all a dream. Right now, nice move there for Google. Let's go. Nice move to the downside right there. So I did used to read Word Up magazine, but that's when Salt and Pepper and Heavy D. Okay, so I don't know what's going on right now. Downside move here. CSTH, XOM, Google, Amazon with a sell. I don't see Google, but I just see Goog, so that's cool. Down with that class. Amazon, nice move to the downside as well. Microsoft puking a little bit. What was that exact number? It was, what? Okay, 153 to buy.
Okay.
Million. So absolutely nothing right there. But wow, what a, sell, sorry. 153 to sell, but anyways, no.
It's still tiny.
Almost irrelevant, but still a sell, so good. Thanks for the correction on that one. And there it is right there. Nice flush for Google.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm only in one thing, and it's probably going to pull back and get me out. There's almost no point. I mean, I didn't see Intel out there, but I'm just going to get out of it flat. Get the opportunity to sell at break even. Why wait the extra 4 cents for it to stop out? You're going to get 15-1 breaking to the downside. Checks notes, if you took Tesla, okay. Yeah, I gave it to you, 70 cents, 80 cents, something like that on that initial flash move. I don't think I'll be taking anything new going into the close. We did have a quick look-see at the name reporting tomorrow, which is going to end at the high of the day. Not much of a pullback for Micron. The next time Micron gets to $64, if I have not set an alert, I am slapping the ish out of myself, because this is the only missed opportunity that I will literally kick myself over, because the last time it was down here, it was the easiest dollar trade that you've ever seen. And it did the same thing today, and it's going to close on the highs. They report after the bell tomorrow. What else we got moving? Everyone's putting the slots in right now.
People want to gamble, eh?
Everyone's always trying to gamble late. I don't know. Like if you wanted to gamble late, I would have. I mean, Tesla 250 was the gamble late.
Yeah, but
into the market
fake
running.
Gambling.
But that's right. Everyone wants to fake gamble. That would have been it, and it's not even that good.
I'm putting in a slot.
It's not even that good. Like giving you 50 to 60 cents on Tesla for that move. I remember when Nvidia did a similar move. It was clean $1.50 when it got to that top. Tesla actually wants the top. Okay, fine. I'll do slots too.
I lost again.
I'm not sure you can actually win this.
I'm losing. I've seen some people win, man. These slots are banking. All this has to do is tell you, there we go, someone just won. Kim, what's up, Kim?
Congratulations.
You got a bunch. Yeah, Kim got a bunch. If you're not part of Streamlabs, you got to be in our chat and be a member. So right there, shout out, Kim.
No, you only have to be a sub. You don't
sub,
have to remember.
Sorry, that's
you
what
only
I
have to be a
meant.
sub.
Yes, yes. Oh, wow. Now everyone's doing it. 1-800-GAMBLER. Yeah, I don't. Wow. Here we go. A whole bunch of people winning here. So what's up, Texas? Oh, Redman won again. Okay. So nice move on that if you want to gamble your life away with Streamlabs.
It's not your life away.
No, of course not. You can do that. I do not recommend doing anything with your life as far as gambling. But there it is right there. 118, although life is a gamble. There's 118 to the downside. Let's see if we do get that fill now back in. We'll put a 118.21 out there and see if we get it. We guess we can cancel pretty much all of our stop orders now as it's been pretty good. We talked about XOM. It was a buy, so it's still here at that day's high. Oh, we did look at oil, by the way. Oil today down again, another 2.25. Yeah. So this is what oil looks like. Down to 67.65 right now, down 2.5. Sorry, just it's closed now. So
at Tesla.
230, it's all closed. So there it is, right there. Did Tesla just flush through 250?
No, it's trying to break.
Oh, trying to break. Yeah, maybe it was a buy on here. I don't know what it was.
I didn't see Tesla on the imbalance. Maybe, I don't know. I didn't find it on there. It must have been pretty small. But it is at 250. There's about 50,000 shares left on the offer. It's been hitting it time and time again. That person wants to fill, whomever it is. They've gotten like a quarter of that fill. And I guess they really wanted it. No breakout just yet. Running out of time anyways. What else we got going on? I'm just staring at Tesla because it's at that 250 level. I didn't really see anything else that piqued my imagination. And as I was saying, it means, as we said, the imbalances are nothing burgers. TD, I suppose, that's not that big. It's dual listed, so you have to see what it is in Toronto. And then XOM, right? Like $1 million on XOM, that seems big. But I seriously doubt it moves the needle. Intel ended up being a sell and balance. Like I said, I punched out of that because we're in the long when that came out. But if you are tracking XOM, 105, that 100 level, not bad. Not too shabby is my daily chart. It's a little bit camera shy. But when it gets down to 100, some of the levels on these oil names or these energy names, they've been pretty darn clean, whether it's 65 on Oxy, around 100 on XOM, CVX, I forget offhand what it was on CVX, but they've been bouncing and trying to take out the top of the channel now, which could come tomorrow. XOM could be breaking 105 tomorrow. Should also be on the radar.
All right, so we're almost out of everything here. We got out on those imbalances, so now it's 355. So whether or not they flipped or not, we can double check it. But for right now, there's Google. We got a great fill down there at 118.20. So that was great, man. I told you, would Google join the dollar club? It basically did right there, the 80-cent club. We could put a bid at 117.98 to let it join, but that doesn't matter. Right there, that bottom wick is 118. We're just going to hold into the close anyways. Hopefully we can get something. If not, fine. If so, great. So that's what we're going to do on Google. You just mentioned Tesla being all the way up. We could
It did break, but failed to break.
Yeah, so that's going to close around that level. Apple as well up to 188. That was good. We held the short there. It was good. Didn't really do anything right now. So Tesla is breaking out. Yeah, you know what? Someone just said BA there, Boeing. I feel like I like Boeing down there at 209. So it's right here right now. But sorry, 200. Sorry, it's at 209. We talked about it at 200 right there, bouncing off that. We had some FDA news last week with Spirit Air and stuff like that. And then on FAA. Coming through there, and they were grounding some of their planes, but then it was like, no, they're fine again. I don't exactly remember the story, but there was something there. So that was a nice dip down for Boeing. I do think it makes its way back to 220. Again, monopolistic business, so that should work out for sure. Why do we want to look at Boeing? Everyone's like, look at Boeing, look at Boeing. I guess it was just an imbalanced trade. That would be my guess. I don't see it on here, but that could have been what started it because it's right. Actually, no, it's right there at 352. Could be some news. I don't know. I don't see anything on it, but if something did hit on Boeing, I feel like it's just 50 cents straight up. So whenever I see something like that at this time of day,
you think it's imbalance?
Well, there is news here. They reach a tentative agreement. I don't know, Brendo. Did you want to look that up quickly?
There was the SPR. There was a strike. It was a labor issue. It was a labor issue.
Boeing. So I don't know. It is spiking up a little bit.
No, that makes sense.
I just did. I'm going to leave it to Brendo because I just saw something that possibly a deal met, but that doesn't seem like that's enough, and that's what the news was.
But what's SPR? If Spirit's up, then
I guess we could check what SPR is.
Yeah. Well, it's up a little bit.
It could be old news too. I have no idea.
Yeah, SPR moved up a little bit.
Okay,
there.
SPR moved up quite.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's. I mean, obviously, Brennan would get it for sure. Yannick just asked about Virgin Galactic space in the chat. I'll look at it. I don't mind. I'm not going to be in any trades. Oh, yeah, this is, damn it. I was waiting around the same way I was waiting around for the dollar breakdown on Nikola, then went long at 101. Should have just gone long at 403 on space. It never broke 4. I had to stop to go short if it broke 4. Look at it hold at 4 even level. Let's go, Brendan.
Just seeing this note from the Pentagon, in fact. So they've approved a sale of the P-8A aircraft to Canada for an estimated $5.9 billion as well. So that just coming across. So it looks like another deal for Boeing, guys.
There's something there. It's a deal. I guessed that. I know there was some kind of a labor issue with at SPR.
Good to know. Good to know.
But yeah, back above the 50 period, you're going to get a close there. Boeing, if it gets to 200, sometimes it breaks underneath. Most times it ends up right back above it. Cannot break out at 225. That's what you got to keep in mind. The stock, it's almost like just wait for it to get to $200. Get your 10%. Eventually, at some point, I guess it'll break back out. When this takes out 225, it could be absolutely fantastic. Less or just over 1 minute to go. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for getting us at least a little higher in the likes. I don't know if Kat's going to be ringing the bell, though, because we're at 841. So we passed 800. We haven't got to that 1,000 mark. For those that are still watching, you still have a chance to hit that like, hit that
Only
subscribe.
1 minute.
With 1 minute to go, Tesla wants 250. Tesla is now above 250. It is arrows up. Tesla's going to be almost 4% today. Wow. Wow-wa-wee-wa. After yesterday, Quadunk, Tesla says, hold my beer.
Yep.
We only ever go down for 1 day. Same thing with NVIDIA. NVIDIA only ever goes down for 1 day. If it has a down day, the next day is going to be up. I do look over. It's not going to be Kat because you can see she's behind us. Yannick is going to be ringing the bell
even
today.
better,
Nice
even
shirt.
better.
I like that shirt, Yannick. This is a good look.
I like that. I like that as well. Good job, Yannick, on that one. Okay, man, with only 20 seconds left. Yeah, it's the Cubans right now. Not the Dominicans.
Not the
Dominicans.
No, they'll roll them too tight.
Do not, and then they'll splash everywhere like crepes. Do not. Well, no, I'm just joking.
It's another great
There's probably
episode.
some great Dominicans that do roll some great cigars. But here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's a wrap. Yannick wraps it up for us, so thank you so much for that one. But what a busy day it was again. Like as if all that craziness today, and we're just going to end up 1.65% with a little bit of a dip down there into the end of the day. So
the other bull.
Oh, it's because I threw it over to Sharif in the middle of the day.
Right.
So it's not that we knocked it over. It's over there. It's hanging out on the other desk.
Dude's lonely.
Do you have that camera shot there, Ramin? You could get the other desk right now. You show the double shot there. You could show the bull just chilling out.
By his
I know I put them on the spot here. The problem is they got to set up the macro.
I know, because we got to go to Pratt.
There it is.
There you go.
There it is. Hey, Sharif, how's it going? All right, so that's it. There is the bull. So, all right, Brendo. Inside day today, guys. There's my guy over there at the desk. So, all right, Brendan, how did we wind up?
You will hear that definition, I guarantee it, coming up here in a few minutes. Trader Pratt getting ready to go here in a couple of seconds. Let's get you caught up on how we wrapped up the day. 1.75 here for the NASDAQ 100 led the way all day long. 1.75, 1.65 for the composite there. 1.3, 1.7, 1.3 for the Russells, plural. S&P and Dow both nicely positive as well. I think we'll get the actual definition here in a few minutes, but Trader Pratt